troops and actually put some shit out. This is crazy.
I mean,
Bro
now
was
look
pumping
at
it in
now
Discord
look at
yesterday,
the
too.
fuck out of here.
Yo, I guess I have to come with some bullshit again. I gotta wake up on the. I tried this morning to fucking trigger you. That didn't work. I didn't get enough engagement. I should have pasted it in every chat.
Well, how'd you try to trigger me? Honestly?
Oh, let me pin this one. This one's a good one. I thought I got you this morning.
Let me see.
Hey, yo, we definitely need to coin that worst tweet of the week and have like a award for that shit for real and give
Yo,
it.
I'm
Like,
Whoa, bro.
Yo, hold on. Where's this trigger tweet at?
I have an award for it that Deep made me, bro.
yeah, we need to have an award made by Deep so we can use it for the worst tweet of the week. Just an idea.
Yo,
Awarded
how can
it to
someone?
The
them.
worst tweet of the week is pinned at the top.
Yo,
I
how
don't
can
even
you
know
kick
who-
someone as a co-host?
Yo, what? I'm confused.
Yo, I woke
How
up this
can you
morning
kick Kuro as the co-host?
and I'm like, yo, I need a pumpisha.
Okay.
And I'm
bro.
like, what can I do to piss this guy off this morning? I thought this would have got enough fucking engagement to piss him off, but I couldn't even fucking get his attention.
Bro. Damn. Now I see this. Damn. Okay, I'm cooking up my comment right now. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Bro, hit us with the thread, bro. We're max boosting that fucking engagement, bro.
No.
Yo, you don't remember the fucking floor price pump from 4 to like 6 ETH, bro, over the next 3 days from that fucking tweet you wrote. I gotta get better at triggering you. What do I gotta do? Just send you the fucking bullshit I write in the morning?
Yo, FUD the Air Forces so that way they can pump again.
Oh yeah, let's fucking
Tell us
Don't
how
list your Air
Fila's.
Forces.
Tell us how Fila's are way better, and like why we should
Yo,
be minting
I'm gonna
Pumas
find
and
some 3D
Skechers.
models of Fila's and I'm gonna put them on my clone, and I'm gonna make 2 different ones. I'm gonna do the who did it better fucking post, and that's gonna trigger you in the morning. That thread's gonna be fire.
Yo, whichever clone wears those Filas, send it to a burn address right after.
Nah. You know what I'll do? I'll get a no, not even a clone, a Utopia avatar.
Nah, put it on your beans.
You'll get an Adidas one. They're getting the 3D. They're creating a 3D PFP with Adidas, and it's revealing in the next few days. Like everyone's just copying.
That shit looks terrible, bro.
Yo, Dre, I put the trophy at the top. Shout out that dude for winning a trophy last week. Rose Jade, how are you?
I was just gonna emphasize, I think the best defense is a really good thread. And the best defense is a really good rendered video of sorts. I mean, we just gotta throw smarts at it. I mean, they're dumb, so we just gotta throw smart at it.
Yo, we need to plan something. We need to like find somebody that can pose, because I can't do it. The fingers always look janky when I try to pose the GM fucking pose. And then we need to GM pose every single fucking clone in this room, okay? And put out a render. And everyone GMs a similar fucking GM. Because have you ever seen when the Bored Ape, like, so one of my buddies does the Nifty Taylor thing, okay? Those fucking tweets go fucking viral every single time. It's like they all just decide one morning to fucking post the GM with the coffee cup. Or their mutant or their fucking ape. And that shit goes crazy. I don't want to be that guy.
I want to. So what I want to see, dude, is like what Rose Jade said, is to have like some fucking insane render, like close up. I'm thinking that that Clone Force render where that dude's like walking through the desert, and right before the relic sort of cracks, he like holds his hand out, and so I'm picturing something like super dramatic like that, and he holds his hand out and he's holding that trophy to present it.
A full 3D Unreal 5 rendered video to give people for the dumbest tweet of the week. Like, well, we're taking it to the next level.
Yo, guys, I need some help.
Hey, Pump.
Yo.
What do you need help with?
Bro, so I might do a trade right now. I don't know if I should do it, bro. It's pretty fucking tough.
I saw you in the Discord. Let's go to Raj real quick. You got a hand up.
Yeah, for sure.
And welcome.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Yo, is it just me, or are all of us not in New York yet? Like, timeline is fucking dry right now.
West Coast is the best coast.
Nah, bro. Nah, stop this, bro.
West Coast is
the
the best
Midwest
coast.
is the best. It's
No, Midwest is
good.
the
It's all
middest.
good. Cool.
I should know. I'm a mids influencer, buddy. Check my pin posts. Give me free
Dude,
engagement.
Midwest is the
Let's go.
middest. That's the best.
Midwest is the best, man.
Where you from, Russ? Where you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Oh yeah, we can ride with that.
Yeah.
We can
You
roll.
guys going to New York City?
No. I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there in VRM. Yeah.
Be there on VRM.
All right.
I see enough rats on my timeline, so like I'm not down.
Yo, I swear to God, if I see a fucking rat, I'm leaving. Last time I was in New York City, like 6 years ago, one of them ran over my foot, the size of a fucking badger, bro. If that happens to me again, I am booking a flight back to Chicago, bro. I can't do that shit.
I told y'all, bro, them shits is huge, man.
Bro,
it's huge.
yeah, they're modified, bro. They be eating some crack off the floor or some shit. Bro, it ran over my foot and that shit was heavy.
Yeah, their biggest rat is 6'9".
The GMO rats, though, I'm sorry, they go off eating off the Chinese food and the pizza, man, and they get stupid dumb big.
That's why they used to all wear tins to squash some rats, bro. Just like
them shits is you don't even squash, man. You try to step on a rat, it'll hold you back like Captain America did Thanos, bro. They would hold your foot up.
Break your... I'm just playing. I've never been in New York, and I don't plan on going. Let me know how it is, though.
yeah,
Shit from LA.
Yeah, if you're from LA, like you just want to go to like Brooklyn Heights and just hang out there, like fuck going to Manhattan. You want to be some like super nice place and go to fucking Dumbo or go over to fucking Brooklyn Heights and chill. But I got a question. Does anyone know if there is a shared or shareable VRM of the King of CloneX out there? Is that getting passed around? Can we pass that around? I was talking to Boo earlier, and they were talking about how they're setting up the rooms and whatnot. It's going to be Hyperfly and on Cyber, and I think that if we can pass around the King of CloneX to anybody and everybody who wants it, and just fucking show up in mass, I think that would be something. That would be something super rad. And just say like, anybody wants to show up, here's a free VRM. Here, King of CloneX, use it all you want, but show up to the On Cyber and or Hyperfly event and party down. So I don't know.
I thought somebody brought that up in the Clone Worlds chat. If I'm not mistaken.
I saw that. Yeah, I'll bring it up in that chat. I can remind them, but I think they're working on that 100%. Hey, anybody can use my clone, but I just feel like you guys would do some weird shit with my VRM, so I don't really trust any of y'all.
They definitely would. Too thick, man. Compound cake, too thick for that, bro. Keep her in the tuck.
Yo, you know the idea I gave you earlier, the one that was auto corrected.
Who you talking to?
Compound. He's the one to speak right now.
I don't know what you said. I didn't read it. I plead the fifth. All I'm saying is it's become known recently within the FUD Fighter group that these people will put the King of CloneX PFP on after they've already like exited Artifact. They'll put that PFP on and they'll go around the timeline just straight fudding and talking shit with the clone PFP on. And Deep called one of them out. He goes, "Man, you put the King of CloneX PFP on just so you looked like you had more credibility when you started fudding like this. That's low. So please."
I think that was Seed, by the way. It wasn't me that said it, but yeah, I just want to give credit to Seed.
Yeah, it's use it for good things. Anybody can use my clone, but please don't be dancing all crazy in the VRM. Lord knows I don't know how to dance. So you just have to stand still. What's up, Tevi?
Sorry. I'll be quick. I'm gonna use LeBron's PFP as my PFP and just like talk hella shit to everyone. You know, take clones to 0 to actual 0. So, but yeah, Tevi, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just coming up to say hi and actually, give you some flowers for that thread that you put together today, Deep. But you had to interrupt me as soon as I got on, so I'm just gonna take them back. No, no flowers, no more for you.
Take it back.
Should I read out the whole thread so you don't talk?
What?
No, I'm joking. I said, should I read out the whole thread? Next time I'll interrupt you. I'll just read out the whole thread.
You should just do it. You should have just done it. That would have been
No, I'm just
funnier. And
That's
also,
a hellified thread, though.
the other comment that I have is for Compound. If you want to send me your clone files, I'll work that thick clone into my next animation here. I think that would be kind of funny. Like I'm putting
Your animations have been pretty sick, by the way.
Yo, you guys don't know nothing, bro. I'm not sending my files to nobody else. I got some recent renders with Dre Mill where my clone's looking fucking dope, so I don't trust none of y'all lately. I'll send them to you, Tevi, but I don't know, man. I don't
You
know.
know how
you don't have to worry. I honestly, I wouldn't even mess with the proportions. I would just use. Well, actually, you know what? You do. They do have like it comes with the female version of it. I could work something out. I feel like, send me your file.
Yo, I'm just trying to get my Murakami Girl clone to Clue because Clue did some renders today that were pretty. I don't know if y'all saw that render, but it was good, man.
If you make it into chibi or whatever it's called, does it get thicker since like it got small? It's like short and thick.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Are we gonna add this guy up, man? We rolling the dice today? I said we roll the dice.
Yo, Jake. Yeah, let's add Jake up. He's following Paulie or followed by Paulie, so maybe Paulie knows him. Paulie's vouching. What's up, Jake? We'll get you up here. We're trauma.
Also, yo, you have a scouter on your clone, right? So, like, the meme over 9,000? Over 9,000 thickness.
Yo, G.
Hell no.
We done.
Hell.
Jake, you
dropped the ball on that one, man.
Paulie, this was your vouch.
Get your boy.
Get your boy, Paulie. All right, we're gonna try again. Ready, go.
Good evening, D-Gens. How are you guys?
My speakers are about to pop. Take a step back, please, sir.
Are you fighting World War II right now and, like, giving us Morse code?
Sir, yes, sir.
Probably get your boy. My man is tripping. I got earbuds on. My eardrums are screaming at me right now. Get your boy. Yo, take the mic out of your mouth. It's like you're performing a Heimlich on it. Like, just give it a couple feet. We can hear you.
Damn.
All right, that's it. That's enough. Good job. Good job.
I want to shout out Jake for ruining really good conversation. Love that. Let's get Jerry up here. Thanks, Polly.
Yo,
oh my God. Now I feel much better about Jerry stepping down.
Yeah, that was a bad take right there.
Jerry, Polly said probably the wildest word of my life earlier. Oh, let me mute Hemi real quick.
Hemi, why don't Hemi ever mute himself though? He forever doing like watching Wheel of Fortune and all types of stuff.
I've been doing spaces with Hemi forever, and he keeps the mic on, like hot, on purpose. Every time I mute him, he opens it back up and goes, "Why y'all muting me?" Hey, Jerry. So Polly said that he thinks that you and K Money are the same people, and I was like, I've never seen Jerry and K Money in the same room, so maybe Jerry is K Money. What do you think?
I think Polly, your friend, is like the exact opposite of you. I don't know why you think I'm funny, like K Money, but I didn't drop off because I was running from the accusation. I just had a phone call and it put me to listener, I think, or Compound booted me or somebody, I don't know. But anyways, Polly, what is up with your bud? Like, he's yelling, like, it just seems like, I don't know. You probably don't get a word in with that guy. That's all I'm thinking.
Polly, cure us with your voice, please. My ears hurt.
Eardrums are screaming at me.
Please talk so they
His
feel
name,
better.
his handle is PolyDexZ. Maybe this is like Polly's evil twin. That's a guy.
That's my alt. I'm so glad you guys met him.
That's some of the scariest shit in the world to think about, right there.
Has to be the alt. All right, y'all. Good night.
I've learned something about Polly, is that she might mean the best, or like mean well for everybody in this community. Like, she added me to a group chat the other day, and I didn't wasn't mutual followers with not maybe just one out of the 70 people in there, but she felt that like I needed to be in the group chat, and I've yet to find a time where I could like even talk in it. And I was just like, Polly just means well. She just cares for the space, and she cares about her friends. So they gave her shit, bro. She added me and she goes, Polly, why are you adding random people? Like, dead ass in the chat. They're like, Polly, you've been in here for 2 days and you think you can just add people? And I just have
Yo, add me, please. Add me, please.
Yo, put me on that queue list. Add me as well.
I mean, y'all can take my spot. I haven't said a single thing, because when somebody gets in a chat and that's how you start off, like, Polly, why did you add somebody? Polly, you don't have adding rights. I was like,
Are there
This is
12?
so bad.
What the fuck?
it was
Well,
weird.
basically, it's the most active chat, and Compound seemed to be a very active human in the digital realm. So I thought, okay, I assume that everybody knows Compound, and I thought it would be a perfect space to post the bad take notifications and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying, is she means well, and I appreciate you, Polly.
I mean,
It's actually a chat for somebody else's Twitter space, kind of like we have a bad take. So I could see why. I've never in my life been in their Twitter space ever, and I get added to the chat, and they were like, "Yo, what the fuck, Polly?" So I don't
So is
blame
it
them.
a
Please,
community?
Oh, you mean well.
I mean, the
please add
logic
me.
makes sense. You gotta admit that. I mean, I think it makes
Well,
sense.
I
It
can.
sounds like it's a spicy chat, bro. I'm
Yeah,
down for some spice.
feel like we should all jump in there.
Yes, we should.
I'm kidding.
Let's
I don't
go.
want to be in there. That sounds super awkward.
Unless there's a doodle, though. If there's a doodle, forget it.
Oh, yeah, true
But
that too.
guys, I feel like we all discuss the same topics and trying to come to the same conclusions, like separately. Maybe it does make sense to get a second opinion or the reassurance of the opinion. So that's about it.
That makes sense. I think
That makes sense.
to me it sounds like Compound just didn't raise to the occasion. Like you served him up the perfect opportunity, and he stayed in his shell instead of coming out and socializing. So it's not you,
I
Polly.
mean, when
It's
I
Compound.
was added to the chat, I got showered with the same type of welcoming messages, and then they just got used to me.
See, and
No, you
that's
guys.
where personality comes in, Polly. Like you came in and you presented yourself well, and kind of made them learn and get to know you. And Compound just didn't say a thing and was just being antisocial over there. So I can see why it's awkward for him.
Yeah, Tebby, you're talking a lot for not knowing anything about the chat.
I don't need to know about it. This is this.
if hey, Dre, read your messages and tell me if it's somewhere you'd want to be.
I'll be right back. Let me go check.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks.
Uh,
Are we gonna let the homie back up? We gonna let Jake back up? We're trying again, Jake. Sure, let's try again. Back away from the mic, Jake, please.
Are we rugged, really?
I think we're waiting.
Yo, Hemi, what's up, man? Let's get Vincent up here. We're gonna have to move Jake back down. He just came back up.
30K Bitcoin, baby. The local bottom is in.
All right, we tried.
I'm trying to add Vince up here. Yo, Hemi, I'm digging the new PFP, repping the squad, baby. You're telling me I should have bought Luxo under $9 the other month?
Well, the thing is, buying Luxo at this price is buying Luxo under $9. But it's if you know, you know thing.
Hey, so buying Luxo under $11 is the same as buying under $9?
It's like buying at $5. If you know, you know. So because the supply. Supply's
It's
changed.
also like buying clones under 10, but you know, what do I know?
Yo, I love
That's a
buying
brilliant marketing
clones.
campaign.
Wait for under 2.5 and see what
Oh
happens
yeah,
then when the holder count goes to over 10,000 and there's no more fucking supply to be sold except for the people that don't need to fucking own one.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
yo, I get that the floor price matters because like, yo, I have a couple that I paid way too
Everyone
much for.
does. Yeah,
And
everyone does. Across all NFTs. And this isn't necessarily like targeted to Artifact. I mean, Artifact definitely is standing out, you know, as one of the top projects. Like, of course, I still hold all my conviction, but I can also look at things as a rational human being and not be, you know, just drinking the Nike Artifact Kool-Aid. I mean, same with Yuga, same with Doodles, Moonbirds, whatever, right? But like, facts are facts, right? People are attracted to NFTs that have high floor prices. They're attainable, like they're aspirational, right? Like that's a huge thing. Everyone wants to trade up to an 8.
yeah, but comparing to those collections is kind of
No,
out
it's
of
not.
pocket because remember, this is a
Oh my god.
20,000 supply.
I know, like, sure, like rationally, right? But that doesn't matter, man. Like we're trading like JPEGs. Like people are rooted in price, not in, you know, market cap, right? Like everyone is censored. Everyone is like anchored towards price. No one is buying this project and saying, oh, the market cap, I actually ran the numbers. It's like actually under $1 billion, like market cap. It's like 900 million or something like that. Oh, like this is a great buy at 900 million market cap. They're saying, oh, it's a great buy at under 5 ETH or under 3 ETH, right? Same, like comparing, like I get the concept. Of course, I get the concept, but people don't think of it that way. Like,
I think we talked about this earlier, but the thing is, the prices right now, they're all dictated based off of where right now. It's all these tokens are not being used as non-fungible tokens; they're used as fungible tokens.
yeah, for
And
sure.
what
Like Blur
happened
definitely
was
fucked that up
that,
for a lot of
like,
people in collections.
yeah. So what happened? What happened? The reason why CloneX suffered so much, Azuki went down too. But if they had better timing than CloneX. CloneX happened to happen during Blur farming, right? And
It was before.
that made it even worse.
It was
Sorry?
definitely before. Like Artifact, like CloneX definitely led the charge in terms of going to like zero. Like it outpaced, you know, all of the mid cap like projects like that I would consider mid
Yeah, I'm
caps,
just
right?
saying timing though. I'm just saying timing though. The like it started accelerating during Blur
Yeah,
farming, right?
yeah,
So people took advantage of that, and they are continuing to take advantage of that. If you look at the metrics too, like people are sweeping 10 and then listing for lower, right?
yeah. I mean, it's a terrible trade
Right
to
now,
make.
like,
Like the whole Blur farming meta is just it's a terrible trade to make. I mean, you've been out of the money since like TGE unless you sold at 92 cents. But right now, what is that, like 40 cents maybe? I guess now like things have been pumping in such a weird market. Bitcoin just crossed like 30,000. I don't get I really don't understand like what's going on here, like just with the broader crypto market as a whole. But yeah, I mean, Blur farming accelerated things with CloneX, but it was already on the trajectory going towards, you know, wherever to bottom out at.
Well,
yeah,
just like you just said, Vince, man, it's a weird market. Nothing really makes sense at this point. So you trying to make sense of where things are when nothing else makes sense doesn't make
It's my
sense.
job,
It's
but it's my
about the
job to make sense of
longevity.
things. Unfortunately,
I
like
know,
I
but
just
you just said that you cannot do that in this market. We all know that because of the variables that are applied to every scenario that we are dealing with. So it's not like on some real shit, none of this ever made sense. It's a fucking JPEG that was selling for $60,000. So why are we trying to apply rationale to it now? But the point is, it's about the longevity of the utility, and this is what we spoke about earlier.
Oh, for sure.
The utility outlasts.
For sure.
So that's why when people say, to the point when you say floor price matter and they rebut against it, it's not about that. It's about the longevity of the utility. So like I said, to the answer of the question, what you said, or the statement that you made, certain projects, yes, floor price matter. If fucking Yuga dropped to 10 ETH, all hell breaking loose. Why? Because they have not much to add to the utility behind it to bring it back to where it needs to be, or to grow to where it needs to be. It's game over. In any other project, for real, it's game over. But people understand that this project has the utility to get to where it hasn't, to reach the heights it hasn't even reached yet. So that's why it doesn't matter right
I guess
now.
like, and I agree with you. I guess like, let's just kind of like talk about it, right? Like, what's the utility of like holding a clone? Like, let's ask ourselves that, and then let's try and triangulate like how that may or may not drive value for all the stakeholders in the ecosystem. So stakeholders being artists, collectors like myself, and traders and whales, right? There's like probably 4 or 5 different stakeholders that each NFT project has to cater to. So, okay, so let's think about it with Artifact Clone, like, because, this is sort of like what we all like care about here, and I think we know the best. So let's walk through like what the utilities are of a clone. Do you want to do it together?
3D files.
Yeah.
3D,
Okay.
3D files. You get to use them as IP.
Yep.
You get exclusive artifacts and whatever collaborations you have first priority to, but you may have to spend a lot of money.
Yep. Okay, let's stop it. Let's stop at like art, right? And I think it's a really important one. So I think that first of all, like, I think being game ready is definitely like undervalued right now. I think a lot of people don't really even understand what that means and sort of what it takes to create 3D art at this scale. So that's like the art factor, right? That's kind of that's like one of the first things that people look at, for a PFP, right? Then like if you're skilled enough and 3D programs and things like that, you can do things with their clone. Okay, but like what are those things you can do with your clone, right? Like right now, like a lot of people are just making renders, and like they're mainly for fun, right? Like, and that's totally fine. It's UGC, it's getting people to create like little factions and maybe some lore, but like for the most part, right? Like a lot of people who are doing these using these 3D assets, it's really only catering to like the super fans, like all of us, like the same kind of like few hundred people who are looking at them. I'm not seeing any of the reach go beyond like our sort of like thought bubble, like yet, right? Okay, so I think they've maybe been around for like 9 or 10 months, so give it time, right? But I think right now, at least where the project is at, that UGC and that like utility of like having a 3D asset that's already rigged is kind of hitting like a wall, right? Like you can only reach so many people in such a small niche community right now, at least. That the UGC like utility, and I think the benefit to like awareness of the broader collection has run its course. Like people, like for instance with apes, like people started businesses around their ape. Like there's ape water, there's like weed products, like there's like branded merch, like there's all this stuff, right? But no one is doing that in the sort of CloneX artifact community. Like they're all just making like art and like renders, right? Which is totally fine, I guess, with the exception of some of the artists like Vega and maybe some of the others, right? But still, like even him, like he's kind of moving towards like Valhalla, right? For certain reasons, and a few other people are too, right? So I guess like what I'm trying to say here on the art side, like I recognize it, but I also recognize the shortcomings. Like that's certainly utility, but that's not a reason to hide behind like the floor price,
Here, let me make a statement to that, and then we can go to you, Vaughn. I know Vaughn Harris' hand is turning blue, but to the point that you're making, I agree with certain aspects. It is only going to the super fans of the community, but that's NFTs across the board. That's this entire sector across the board,
excluding
and that's
apes.
Something that
excluding apes and punks.
Even with apes, right? Like we speaking about a perspective here, because someone may know about an ape, doesn't necessarily mean that they're invested or interested in an ape.
Agreed.
So it's the same situation no matter where you want to point the finger. But the point is understanding that's why the point that we're making about floor price not mattering is even more, the point is even stronger, because we haven't even began to hit the tip of the iceberg. None of the future drops have been released. The wearables, the things that will integrate other people from different sectors into this community have even been released yet. But like you said, the apes, they're doing weed, they're doing edibles, they're doing water, they're doing wine. They're taking their shots, and we see how far those shots are going. So we can kind of put a cap on how far the reach is. We don't know the reach yet because it has been yet to release. And there are many other projects, partnerships, releases that have been yet to come. So I think you're just jumping the gun at this point when it comes to this collection, just based off of the sentiment of the present moment. But again, like Ro so eloquently stated earlier, why bask my thoughts from reality when I can sit here and imagine the future? And that's exactly what's happening with this project. So we can agree to disagree, you know what I mean, just from different standpoints and different perspectives. But I truly think, like, in 6 to 8 months, it'll be a totally different conversation, not only coming from you, but others as well.
Yeah, I think comparing ourselves to somebody like apes is pretty asinine, to be honest. And I think that to what Dre was saying, this is all foundational. And if you don't build a solid foundation, like this tip of the iceberg shit, if you don't build a solid foundation, it's going to crumble. And so for me, the utility of being able to have a 3D ready, game ready clone with, like, in conjunction with a community that falls over themselves to help you learn and create, that's invaluable. That's something that I personally would not have gotten anywhere else with any other collection. And to me, that's invaluable. So insofar as I'm able to access that network of individuals that are top of the game creating AAA shit, and I'm just basically a nobody that has a clone, and they can teach me everything I need to learn about it, even help me along the way, hold my hand through this process, is creating a foundation that you need to create with this sort of project. And I think that people running out and creating weed brands with a clone just doesn't make any sense, because that's not where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we are is laying this foundation, which is going to be so much more important over the long term of a project. And I just want to dovetail what Dre was saying, because that's 100% spot on. Tip of the iceberg shit. We're building a foundation. This is a long-term project, and making comparisons right now just doesn't make sense.
Sorry,
Yeah,
but
so
your mic is loud. I wasn't
just
muted
hold on.
on purpose, man. Your mic's super.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Just so
babes, you
okay.
need to
So
get
according to
out
you,
of that
Ilan, you
tornado.
can't. Can I just ask one quick question, then we'll go to Vonsol? I'm so sorry, but so Kuro said you can't compare Artifact to the mid caps that are within their floor price range. Now you, Ilan, say comparing to apes is asinine. So like, everybody thinks that like there's no comparison to this project. Like I'm curious, like seriously curious. You have to comp to something.
Hey,
So what do you comp to?
let me
Okay, look.
let me just read some people and companies who are building around clone IP real quick. We got Savant, we got Tropics Music, he's a DJ. We have Clone Force, we have Clone Girls, they're a music group.
Yo, Vince,
Avita,
mute your fucking
Bro,
mic.
I profiled all
Hey,
these people a year ago, dude. Like I know all these guys. Like
you
Okay,
might
what?
you might know them, but let me educate everybody else. El Bandito's Hot Sauce out of LA, Korea Wearables, we have In Depths, we've got Cloned, we've got
CloneX LA.
We have Synonyme, we have CloneXLA, we have DMKTZ, that's Taiwan Swags company. We have Junior. There's a lot of people that are building around CloneX IP. Maybe it doesn't look like fucking alcohol and stupid shit like that, but clones are building regardless, man.
okay, I never said that they weren't building. Like I just don't get that twisted. I never said that.
Okay, like
Yeah,
okay,
and it's not about comparisons, man. I don't know, like, why even fuck with talking about comparisons in the first place? Like, just tend to your own rat killing and prop yourself and your community up. And who gives a fuck what anybody else is doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
comps don't make any
So like,
sense.
hold on. I think we're getting like a little out of scope here. So let me just like quickly reset it. So like, I'm definitely on Team CloneX. I have like 4 of these. Like you can look at my profile picture. human beings, like, that's just what they do. They compare, like, whether it's good or it's bad, like, that's what they do. And people compare everything. They compare cards, they compare shoes. Now we compare NFTs. We compare different tokens that we own, right? Like fungible tokens. So you can't say, like, don't compare, because everyone compares. It's just human nature. My whole thing was just saying that floor price is important, and then it triggered this whole, like, craziness. So that's my thoughts. Why don't we go to Von Soul, because I think he's had his hand up for a while.
What's up, Soul?
Well, first off, Vince, I don't want to hear that fucking tornado ever fucking again. So whatever you need to do to get out of that fucking tornado, you fucking do it. Second of all, I wanted to mention something else, but now that Vince had his, I'm sorry, that was a very bad take. I'm not gonna lie to you, Vince, and it just sounds very contradicting when you say, like, you're a part of, like, the CloneX community, and, like, you hold.
Yeah.
Wait, bro, mute your mic. I'm not gonna lie, it's mad annoying. Yo, do you know how to mute your mic, Vince?
You asked me if I know how to mute my mic? Yeah, bro, I know how to mute my mic.
Alright, you want to click that button right now?
I can listen and not say anything. I don't
Yeah,
need to
I don't
mute
think
my mic.
they're aware you're in a fucking tornado.
There's just a
trap
lot
right
of background noise. That's why he's asking. There's a lot of background.
Anyways,
you just stirred up the beehive. Now look at you, man. Look what you done.
Anyways,
all this over floor price, bro. That's crazy.
Well, yo, you know what's crazy is that you say you're part of the CloneX community, but the first thing you bring up is floor price. So right there.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. Bro, I've had this like clone for a year, dog. Like I don't know about you,
okay,
but
like, bro, I've been here. I've minted my clone, so let's not go there.
Can we shift the vibe into a different direction?
Nah, I'm just curious.
Can I go quickly?
I'm curious though, because
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Pampisha, chill for a sec. Pampisha, chill for a sec.
I'm chill. This is just not a good vibe, though. It's kind of whack.
I'm curious,
to be honest. I fuck with both of you, but this shit is
I
whack.
understand that, Pampisha, but I'm just curious as to, like, someone who, like, genuinely because I fuck with Vince. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, I like Vince, but I'm confused on his take as where he started off by just questioning the floor price and then goes on to say, like, about how not everything else is working within the community, when Compound especially just named them a bunch of other communities that are building. So if you truly are, like, in it for the long vision, Vince, I'm lost as to why you started off with, like, floor price, knowing that floor price doesn't really matter if you're in it for the long run.
Yeah, it's fair. So to give everyone context, so I said in the bad take chat, I said something along the lines of, you asked the question, like, does floor price matter, right? And I sampled a few different communities, actually. So I sampled this group chat, which leans heavily towards artifact bias. I sampled another group chat that I'm in that leans towards Yuga bias, and I sampled, like, a general alpha, like, chat group, like NFT trader chat that, I have some friends with. Everyone except for our chat said yes, and then I got the pushback in the chat with, like, a few people, here, like, going back and forth. If you scroll up, like, a few hours, like, why floor price, like, doesn't matter. And then people brought up things like animus and utility and this and that. And my only question was to the group, does floor price matter? And then we said, okay, let's just take it to a bad take where we can discuss over live audio. My point of view is, and I'll just state it, and I would like to know from you and from everyone else what their thoughts are. My thoughts on floor price are sort of as follows, roughly. So floor price obviously doesn't determine utility. That's pretty obvious, right? We have, in this case, like, I'm only going to speak to Artifact, right? So we have our 3D files, like, we have, access to these collabs by way of Artifact and Nike. We have some really cool sneaker utility coming along, which, for better or for worse, like, you as a clone could have minted, but you don't need a clone to buy these off secondary, which is sort of an interesting issue in and itself. But you have access to this artifact ecosystem. I think a lot of people were promised, like, really cool utilities around streetwear, sneakers, etc. But whether the floor price is, like, 40 ETH or 4 ETH, like, you get the same utility. I'm not arguing the utility of a clone. What I'm trying to say is that typically, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, so it's short-sighted to, like, ignore floor price. I don't think any project can ignore floor price. both the community and both like the founding team, right? The founding team, I think, has to be focused on floor price. Why? Why? Because for a few reasons, right? So obviously for business reasons, royalties are still here, whether they're a fraction of what they were 2 years ago or last week. They're still here, and they're still important KPIs to report on. Okay, so that's one thing, the business side of it. The second thing is like mind share, which I was saying like a little earlier, right? So with things like apes and punks and now like Azukis, right? They're aspirational. You can't, for most people, right? You can't just go off on a whim and buy an Azuki or buy a floor ape or a mutant or whatever, right? People often trade up or they consolidate their assets into buying one, or they save or they stack up because they're so expensive, right? Why are they so expensive? Well, for a few reasons, like especially with apes, like they're very early, but Azuki, right? They took a very different like path of how they're building the project. Azuki minted like right after Artifact, so they practically started around the same time. The floor prices have diverged, but now people are trading up who probably otherwise would have, held Artifact assets. They're trading up for Azukis because it's a flex. Like the floor price is a flex, and like even if you call it a meme, the meme is that the art definitely looks better like at a higher floor. It's a fact, right? These are like, what's the term, like Velbin goods? Like that's 100% the case here. Like NFTs are a textbook definition of that. So my only comment to the group was not even commenting really so much on the floor price, of Artifact specifically, was, does floor price matter? Yes or no? And my opinion is that it does matter because it drives mindshare, it drives people hoarding, the NFTs, and it drives, the floor up. Nobody wants to lose money, like whether you like it or not. Like people are here for the most part, not for the most part, but the money is important, man. Like, Nike didn't just get acquired because they sold these for free. My other argument was like, okay, if floor price doesn't matter, then why not launch a secondary collection, the same exact? Why not just launch the same 20,000 clones and give them out for free? If like floor or like any of this stuff doesn't matter. So I think like a lot of people in this community are a little like on edge, right? Like because of the floor, and I think that's totally fine. It's valid. Like a lot of people are going through it, but to ignore floor, I think, is really short-sighted
Yeah, but
for
wait.
the health of the
Vince, I
ecosystem.
just want to say real quick.
Yeah, there's two things: ignoring the floor and focusing on the floor. And so you're on two totally separate sides of the
Exactly.
spectrum. And I think it's hella myopic to focus on the floor, because fuck that.
Agreed.
And it doesn't help anyone or anything whenever you quote unquote focus on the floor. And I don't think teams should focus on the
Yeah.
floor. I think they should deliver and execute, and the floor will come.
Also,
No, I agree with that. Let's go to the hands too, because we're gonna
You
keep.
also have to
Yeah,
look at the future. You can't live in the present. There's some shit that's this price today and another price
Hey,
the
yo,
next
can
day.
I
There won't
go?
be people.
Yeah. Let
Go,
me
go,
say
go.
one thing, and I'm going right to deep real quick. And just to clarify my points that I was shooting back at you, Vince, is I was jumping on a conversation that we had yesterday that you kind of came into a little bit late, was regarding a thread who pointed out that because the floor is low, that CloneX and Artifact is going to fail as a company. That was the original argument that
that's
you kind of
stupid.
came into a little late, but I understand your point 100%. But I was arguing that no, the company itself is not failing because of the floor, and you were kind of pushing a different argument. But I think that we're on the same page now.
wait, before
Yeah, no. So like yeah, for sure. Let's just set the room right. Like, a company like Artifact, or like any company that's raised money, like royalties aren't going to matter, right? Like these companies as like companies will survive regardless of if the floor goes to zero. We're obviously seeing it right now. Now the NFTs themselves, like in the ecosystem, and things that are more tangential, will suffer right at the feet of the floor. But I'm not saying that like any of these companies that are actual companies, not just some DGen NFT project that your friend launched, like
Yeah.
these real companies are not going to zero because their floor is dipping, right? Like, and again, like I just want to level set, right? Because I don't want to like I simply asked the question, does floor matter or not? And I think a lot of people took that out of context, saying that floor is everything. So to your point, Ilan, like that's not at all what I'm saying.
Compound,
And it's obviously
can
not
I
the
just say
case.
something before you go to deep real quick, and then we can pass it to deep just to answer Vince. But what
It's just gonna keep going back and
deep,
forth.
deep,
I've been
deep? I
waiting.
I know.
promise
Wait,
you.
let's go to the wait. Time out. Let's go to the hands, bro, because people had their hands up, and then we can bring it back around. This is one of those nerve touching conversations. I will, Vince. You hit it on the head. I think it's just different perspectives, but let's go to the hands on it.
Deep, You're up,
All right,
baby.
thank you. So, like, okay, one thing I mentioned, Blur, right? Second thing is you mentioned why don't they just release another 20K value? My point isn't that floor doesn't matter right now because all floors are down. I never said value doesn't matter. You're gonna disintegrate the value of something by just dropping another 20K collection. Another thing is too, based off of all the other utilities I use to dictate prices, the NFT market is going to change completely because, like I mentioned earlier, you weren't there though, that there are constantly new metrics and there's going to be competition pretty much in these marketplaces, which you're already seeing. And for example, magically, that's going to be huge once the airdrop comes out. People are going to start using it. Competition in these marketplaces are going to dictate people to go to use the marketplace that best suits them and the metrics that best suit them. When you look at like what Kuro said earlier too, he said, look at the ownership, right? When I say floor doesn't matter, I mean it's not the end all be all. Yes, it matters right now, but if you look at the floor for all collections across the board, every collection is down from the bull. You know what I mean? Yeah, CloneX is down dramatically, right? And your point about creations and comparing it to Bored Apes, in my opinion, that's actually a great thing that people haven't like for me I'm creating a hot sauce and I've already talked to a manufacturer. I'd rather be early creating products that and innovate early within the space than go into an environment that it's already been done, that's already so much more mature. You know what I mean? I agree with your points in terms of exactly like yeah, people are buying Azukis because high floor does make it look better. You know what I mean? But like for me as a long term investor, floor doesn't matter because one, I'm leveraging the utility. I'm creating my IP. I'm taking that IP to create a product. I'm gonna basically reinvest what I'm building. I'm using this as an incubation. You know what I mean? It depends on how you use it. If you're a person like this project isn't for people that are just gonna have of like a PFP and basically just sit around and tweet. You know what I mean? Like people that are building, they're creating tools too. Like yesterday, they built tools to make it easier for 3D renders. You saw immediately so many people innovated with their renders so quickly within a day. It's been 9 months. You know what I mean? Literally like art Nike can go and chill the fuck out of um Artifact right now and will pump, right? But that's not what they're doing. They're using this as an incubation space to build and learn, and they're giving Artifact a chance. And like if like the thing is like we talk about a lot of in this space. We talk like in Bad Take, we talk a lot about what is going on constantly and things that I didn't even realize. Like Dre told me like the other day, yo, they if you look at it, like they haven't really Nike hasn't removed their logo for anyone. You know what I mean? There like even when I was talking about Animus today in the chat, it says you're gonna go questing with your Animus and your CloneX, but people don't even know what they're buying into, and they're saying like oh like the value isn't matched um based off of an announcement. That's completely false. They're tied. If you're following the ecosystem with detail and what is actually going on, like Tevi created a whole thread the other day, or he in the spaces like a few weeks ago, he's talking about how all the things that it blew my mind. Like the Animus has a vial in it, and like how the ecosystem is all coming together. The problem is people are impatient and the like Azuki went down, right? But this was before Blur. We just caught the wave of Blur where we got destroyed. We the process got accelerated. If you look at Bored Apes, they're down. There used to be like what like 100 ETH. They're at like 50, 60 ETH now. Azuki's were at 30 ETH. They're at 14 ETH. Uh, Everything's down right now. That's just the macro environment of it all. So like I know what I'm betting on, and like I've done my research thoroughly. But like I think people just need to do the research and determine their own metrics that they use to determine value, because floor doesn't necessarily determine value in anything. That's the same as price. When you go buy a book, if it's $100 book versus like $100, people would be like, "Yo, I don't want to read this book," but that $100 of for that book, the amount of knowledge that you gain could make you millions. So yeah, that's just my take on everything.
Yeah, that's a good, and especially if the book's for an engineer and you're not trying to be an engineer, there's no value to that book to me compared to, so everyone's value is different. I like how you put that.
Thanks, guys. Whose hands was next, Trey? Was it Tevi?
It was Justin, then Tevi, then Boo, then
Gus or Tevi or Vaughn. All right. Either way, we're gonna figure it out. We love you all. What's up, Justin?
Hey guys, so I jumped in this space when I heard like the comparisons to BAYC and floor price and all that. So I just want to give some perspective here.
Wait, Justin, before you go in, because I know
Yeah.
you're about to go in. Everybody do me a favor, retweet the space, feed the algorithm, leave a comment, because we want people to hear these conversations, right? This dialogue is important, and it has to go outside of just us and the quote unquote echo chamber. So let's keep this information flowing. Let's retweet the space. Let's get the people in here. Sorry to interrupt, Justin. Please continue.
No worries. I'm glad you did before. It's important to do it before I go on my long-winded, boring kind of rants. So get people in here before that. No, I appreciate you. So listen, I'm coming at it from a week one holder BAYC, week one holder CloneX, and still have a forever BAYC and a forever CloneX, and they're both as forever as each other for me. The danger in comparing, and this isn't just for clones, it's for everyone comparing to Bored Apes. There was escape velocity that happened with the Bored Apes early on, because while they weren't the first, they were the first kind of brand to really unleash commercial rights in a big way that a lot of people, it was more the optics actually more than the usage, attributed value to the collection. And that escape velocity is, in my view, my thesis is there's not going to be another collection that reaches it outside of super limited edition collections or like like individual artworks. And I think we always like look at that time period of 2021 as what should be the norm or the expectation. A lot of people aren't going to want to hear this. In my view, what we're experiencing now with the, like more down to earth pricing is, to be honest, probably closer to the healthy norm and expectation for long-term growth over time. And so I think we need to look at that because, I mean, come on, we're talking about, and I actually look at collections like clones, like doodles, as like I think the teams are actually doing a really great job building. I honestly put more not blame, but more of the issue with like kind of the controversy on the communities because in my view, again, like the most overstated, underutilized quote utility are these commercial rights. And I think there's so much innovation that can be had with commercial rights that haven't been used. And when you look at a brand like CloneX that's now associated with Nike, like the global brand of global brands, like that brand equity that is automatically instilled here is a huge competitive advantage to any other collection, bar none. Like you can't get that unless you find a company that's bigger than Nike to acquire you. And I don't know of a company that's bigger than Nike to acquire another company in this kind of streetwear collectible space. So in my view, the best, by the way, the best for me, kind of comp is, look, I love sneakers, and that's why I got initially into Artifact and CloneX. Let's look at sneaker releases and the secondary market on sneaker releases and go ask like some sneakerheads, like, hey, we have a digital collection here of about 20,000 units and they're, trading secondary around like $3,000 to $5,000. They're going to be like, what? Their eyes are going to open up because of positive excitement and surprise, not because, oh, wow, that floor is so low. Right. And so we got to think about it in terms of kind of, I think, closer comparables to the culture that is sneakers that is aligned with clones, and then the commercial rights that can come from that. Like any sneaker customizer can now buy a clone and collab with Nike. That is wild, right? Like Johnny, wouldn't have dreamed about this 3 years ago. Today he's collabing with Nike, and that market value could be potentially huge. So I'll just end with this. I think again for all collections, I think the ROI that people should look at isn't the flip. The ROI is how can you utilize the asset that you purchased and build something that generates a return on that value, whether that's financial, whether that's social, whether that's networking, whatever it may be. But then like the break even point isn't that difficult. You have a Nike asset. Like you should be able to break even with some level of ingenuity pretty quickly. And then that then becomes much more valuable. And then you can push away all those blur prices, et cetera, right? Because what does it look like when, let's say, Dre with one of his clones builds like a massive empire, and he's not just selling, if he ever does, a clone, he's selling his social media package that comes with his clone. He sells all the IP that he's built around it. That's highly valuable, and people aren't going to look for blur for that. They're going to look for, wow, that's like the persona of the collectible that I want to purchase. And I don't know. I get concerned when people talk about the floors, et cetera, and like the royalties as like KPIs. This is the most misaligned incentive that a company can have with the community. You actually make money when community members leave your community. That's horrible, right? Then you're valuing short-term gain over long-term lifetime value of the customer. That's not a KPI that I don't think Artifact's looking at, Doodles, Bored Apes, etc. They're looking at other revenue streams, and by other revenue streams and building that brand equity, build the brand value for all of us, and vice versa. It's our responsibility to build our individual brand equity for our unique clones that also benefit all each other and the core brand. So, anyways, that's my rant for the day.
Drop some gems on you, Vince. I'm talking to you specifically in your face. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. This is healthy conversation. We need to have this type of dialogue at
It's
all times.
crazy, bro. Crazy.
Vince, I'm just playing. I'm playing, bro. Don't come back, please. Hold on. We
Crazy.
going to
You
the
bring up
hands,
floor, dude. You bring up floor, and then
Oh no!
everyone's knives
Hey!
out,
Wait.
dude. This
We're
is
gonna go to the hands. We're gonna go to the hands. I don't want to do this. I don't want to start this up again. This is
Respect the
WrestleMania
hands.
about to happen. So let's go to Tabington. Tabington, what's cracking?
Man, you just had to go and drop in your face and start something else. No, I'm gonna say honestly, Justin, I don't have too much more to add beyond what you just said, because I was gonna bring in the business aspect of it, because that's what I do on a daily basis, and it's about long-term brand value. And I think everything you've said was on point. The clones themselves, and to maybe answer Vince's comment about floor price, I think it matters to some extent, and it doesn't. But it really comes down to the individual and what each person is trying to get out of this collection. If you're here for a quick flip, and that's your trader, and that's what you're into, then yes, floor price matters all day, every day, because you bought in with the intent to make a quick return on investment, and that is not happening right now. So what do you have going for you? Blur. Blur is where you go and you flip it at a loss, but you're gonna make your money back on the rewards that are coming in. So if that's why you're in the space and why you're coming after, or you're buying into any collection, then yes, absolutely, floor price matters. But I think and maybe speaking for a lot of people in this room specifically, and for myself, I will say that the reason why you're getting the no floor price doesn't matter is because everybody, to some extent, is thinking about the access that clones provide. And it is exclusive access. Yes, you can go and buy um, uh, shoes on secondary. I just saw your chat come through, made me laugh. Yes, you can buy some of this stuff on secondary, but it always opens up to clones first. And as the brand grows and as there's more collabs and people build their businesses around all this stuff, it does play into, there is intrinsic value with each clone. Some of it will be tangible, some of it will not be, right? In networking and expanding your reach. But clones they do provide that access. And I think that is the biggest, in my opinion, value that a clone has, is the access that it gives you in different verticals, might I add. So whether it be gaming, whether it be fashion and clothing, or think about even business building and the people that you're able to connect with around the world in different, different industries that comes along with it, right? So I think, to your point, I know it was a simple question of like, does floor matter? And we're all kind of giving you our mindset around all that stuff. But the answer is yes and no. It depends how you're coming at it and what you're trying to get out of it. So if you're a long-term investor, then no, floor doesn't matter, frankly. If people cared about, and this is what I'll end with, if people cared about Amazon back in the day when it was like in the toilet, or Tesla when it was in the toilet, they wouldn't have made this far and retired on their stock investment. Investing isn't for the next day or the next week, it's for the next decade. And so if you're an investor and you're building yourself and your brand, that's not going to happen overnight. And, you know, a lot of people flock to Web3 because it was the easy way to get rich quick. And, you know, because that's what it was, whether it was apes or whatever. We saw pictures of monkeys go from free, because that's how you minted it, to worth millions of dollars. And none of those people had to do anything. All they had to do is click that sell button, and they became rich. Everybody wanted that for themselves. So whether I'm seeing your comments and I'm laughing, the investment is in yourself, right? It's what do you think you can do with your clone? And I can tell you, I have a very clear vision of what I'm trying to accomplish here. So it's about the value that you see in these assets and what you're going to build with it. If you're in it just for the trade, then floor matters. You're 100% right. If you're looking at this as a way to enhance your brand and access to cool clothing or whatever it might be, that works too. And you can also look at it as an investment because gives you early access to whatever is coming. So there's different avenues and different ways to look at it. Not everyone's going to agree. That it comes down to what do you want out of it. You can sample people, and I don't know if that's your day job is sampling. It sounds like some of it is kind of is maybe, but it's what are you trying to get out of it? And right now we've seen that anyone who's a trader got wrecked. It's a bear market. You're not going to make any money, and floor is everything, and those people are the ones who are bitter for the most part. That's what I got.
Wait, what happened to our stage? Did people leave? Thank you, Tevi. We really appreciate your insight always. I love your outlook of how you look at things, man. Justin, you killed it, my friend. Thank you as well. I don't know whose hand was next. I think it was Soul's though.
It was so then Boo, then Snap.
So Boo was actually before me, so I'll let him go first.
Oh, look at that. That's why they call him Soul.
Yo, I want to hear more about this Johnny Kicks Nike collab. I didn't know about that, Justin, and we love what Justin adds, but I did write something up here. People do care about the floor price because they are quote unquote investing, right? Like I got into this space like 15 months ago, and that's what I was told. But it was really just a gamble. This is just all my opinion here. And there are still new people like me in this space that are gambling. But honestly, it's about conviction. And that's my opinion again on conviction plays, right? I'm convicted here. I heard this in other projects. I'm in other projects and other ecosystems where people were like, yo, Boo, I just sold my clone. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't care. I literally told them I don't care. And they like had this whole thing. I'm like, I don't care. I'm convicted. This is my play. Here I am. Next, you know, we got a thing up here. I'm going to pin up at the top. We got somebody up here that is bought a clone because they got so hyped when the Artifact Creators webpage dropped. And they were like, wow, this is like actually my space for here. I think this can help a lot of people with job opportunities. People have told me, hey, Boo, can you get me the AR filter as soon as possible? Because I have a job interview and I really want to show them what I'm working with within the Web3 space, within here, what we're doing here. And I just want to say, Vince, and I'm going to just cut me short. Vincent, you did a V1 and a V2 thing about creators blog, about creators, create an avatar economy. And you reached out to me and you wanted me to be in it. And then it didn't go further than V3. And I reached back out to you and I was like, hey, when's V3 coming? And then it never came. And I just want to let you know that all of us, I'm not the only one. We wanted there to be a V3. We want there to keep going. We want to keep going here. I wake up every day in this space and nobody forces me to be in this space but me and myself and my own self. I've got my own job going on in Web 2. I got my own life and my own family. Nobody forces me to be here. But I know that we're here till 2052 and it's going to be a long time. It took 10 plus years to sell Power Rangers. I'm here for the long run.
Appreciate you, Boo. I'm down for a version 3. Von Soul, now you got us, man. You patient as fuck.
Man, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this conversation just got me triggered. And the reason why it got me triggered is because you've heard so many of these topics repeatedly in the artifact community. FUD, 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 FUD because of the floor price. And there's just different mentalities. There's a creator mentality And I think what we're seeing a lot is an investor mentality where, investors who have joined this community, and I'm sure along the way, you guys fell in love with more than just investing in this community. But when you guys bring up the floor price, it makes it obvious and clear that you're upset because you didn't de-risk your investment earlier on when you had a chance to. CloneX was at almost 20 Ethereum. You probably didn't want to sell because you had faith in CloneX, or you thought it was going to go even more up. Okay, that's the reality of things. If the point we're at right now, if you're still talking about floor price at this point, to me it just goes to show you're in this for the wrong reasons, or you didn't take profit when you could have. Because you see amazing people like Yobs, even Ilan. Ilan, I don't even think is a creator, but he still has the same mentality as a creator. And I'm sure he's smart enough as well, where if he wanted to enjoy the whole process of Artifact, he should have taken risks when he could have. So he could have enjoyed the whole movement, and he could have even bought back at a better price that we are right now. But to be honest, I'm tired of seeing these two-sided fake shit, to be honest. It's either you believe in the project or you're here as an investor and you're upset about the floor price. That's the reality of things, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in Vincent's case, he's doing market research actually for Horizon Labs. He's pretty much. I just realized what the fuck was going on. You're clever, Vincent. I I like that. I'm going to use this tactic on them next week.
I was about to say,
Come.
Bro, the tactic of buying 4 clones, like, all right,
No.
be my
That's not
guest.
what I'm talking about. No, that's not even close to what I'm talking about, bro. You're asking a question that it needs to be asked, right? Like this is a discussion that we all need to have because it's like it kind of clarifies what the entire vision that we think that we're getting involved in is, right? Like I came into this thinking that this is going to be the epicenter of the creator economy, right? I think like for the most part this sector of tech it is like an amalgamation of art and technology, and like this for me was like and don't get me wrong, I'm buying beans, azukis, I'm buying anime JPEGs, basically anything that has like a scope in which you could grow your IP. I love like the apes, all that stuff, right? Because you can easily like you guys have seen like I think it was Kriya did the ape inside of the tracksuit. That looks better than any fucking tracksuit I've ever seen any fucking monkey JPEG in. Right? And like for the most part, I'm not happy about the floor price. I'll be straight up with you. I de-risked like a while ago, because I realized what was happening. Right? Like it's a larger collection, right? We don't there aren't that many people here. People are leaving because the value of Ethereum is going down, right? And I just knew like at a point you have to be sensible, right? Like and I get what you're saying, Vincent, and I don't think anyone is like you're the only one bringing forth the message, so I don't feel like people are attacking you. Vaughn is a Toronto man. That's how we talk. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not even anything against Vince, to be honest. It's just something that I've been hearing constantly throughout like the months. And it's just like, like people, obviously things are not the best right now. We're in a bear market. But it just seems like when everything is bad, like people just start talking about like the things that don't matter. It's just like what is floor price talk gonna do right now? Obviously it's bad right now, but what people don't see is that this is an amazing opportunity to make the best out of yourself. It's a good opportunity to shine light on you because people are watching. Like that's what people don't understand. Everybody watches, and when you act like this during like hard times, I'm not gonna lie, it really just shows your character. And I don't know, I'm personally just tired,
Bro,
obviously.
like,
But again,
yo,
Vince,
all I
this
asked was a
isn't about
simple
you.
question, dog. Like,
Hey Vince, this is I
okay, it
literally
sounds like
said
you're saying, when you say you, like, it's, I brought up the question, so every time you say you, it makes me think you're talking about me.
No, he is
you're just a prime example at this point, Vince. But there are other people who do the same thing as well.
So maybe like I know I'm gonna jump in real quick. I just want to say this, Dre.
No,
Dre, please
jump in there, Joe. No,
just let
go
me
to the hands.
we
gotta go to the hands, Tabby.
Dre.
Tabby, we can't let you do this. We
Yeah.
can't let you do
All
this.
right, fair
We gotta
enough,
go
fair
to the
enough,
hands.
fair enough.
We gotta go to the hands.
Fair
Snap.
enough.
Yo,
We love
Well, I'm gonna change the vibe up real quick because I got something positive to say that may not be reflected in the floor price completely. But I mean, I think everybody's points on the floor price are valid. I mean, I think the conversation obviously gets old too and all that good stuff, but it is a healthy conversation to have. And I think, I mean, between what everybody said put together, if you put it all together, it all really hits the nail on the head. But something that like a lot of people says, it all depends on what you're in for. And the reason I have my hand up is, this conversation is I've been trying to I don't want to take us too far off topic, but it kind of fits right into the topic because, as some of you know, I was just in Japan. I was just in Tokyo for the last 9 days, and I reached out to Merrill before I headed out there and said, "Yo, I'm coming to Tokyo. Are there any clones that want to link up?" And you know what? 8, 9, 10 clones met up with me, showed me around Tokyo, took me places to eat. We went out to dinner together. Huge shout out to OG, to Merrill, to Marissa, to Dinjin, to Regis. There were so many people, and not and the type of, and so I've built so many relationships that like people are saying, depends on how you leverage things. I built so many relationships that have led to other businesses, relationships that have led to other opportunities that have returned some ROI on my clone. If we're just talking about money, but separate from money, like outside of money, the relationships that I've been able to build have been real relationships. And to give you an example, man, when I was out there, we were talking and Regis was going to the Murakami store. I wasn't able to get out to the Murakami store just because our plans were jam packed. But he knows just from following us on Twitter, my kids are Murakami fans. My dude picked up a whole care package of Murakami for my kids, bro. I'm talking plushes, stickers, pins, and he did it just out of love, bro, out of a friendship that we made through this. And he's a very talented person. I'm a very talented person. When I was out there talking to Merrill, we're like, man, immediately we're thinking, how can we work with each other? How can we leverage each other's skills and business acumen to help build something together, man? And so the doors that get opened up, man, they say you need to get out there and network and this and that, man. I've done more networking through this community than I have in my entire life. Because we have something that we're passionate about that we're all working together on, and on top of that, there's so many talented people with so many business skills, and a lot of us are young and hungry, or youngish. I'm not young, but youngish and hungry, man. And so it's like, when I was in school, I studied art history. I went to film school. Before I got my master's in production, I got a bachelor's in cinema studies, critical studies. I studied a lot of historical movements like the French New Wave or German Expressionism, and these were groups of people like us that at the time when they were doing what they're doing, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and Raphael, they weren't, it wasn't, people didn't realize when they were first starting out how big all of that was going to be. And it wasn't these massive groups of thousands of people. It was small core groups of motivated people together that were building things that literally made a lifetime impact. And I feel like we're at the forefront of another revolution like that right now. This digital Web3 in-game creator, all this stuff, man, like this is the future, and we're at the very beginning of it. And 10 years from now, when people need experts on certain topics or people that have worked on this or that within the industry, man, we're placing ourselves in a position to be at the forefront of that. And so, I mean, you can look at all that from a money point of view, like if money is your main goal. But I'll tell you, like, for me, like, one of my downfalls has always been like, I just don't care about money. And I know some people say like that's a privileged thing to say, and I realize it is, because I guess when you really don't have money and you grow up without money at all, and I was never rich or well off or anything like that, I was lower middle class my whole life. But just me personally, I'm not motivated by money. Like, I have no interest to be rich. I have no interest to ever have a Lamborghini. I'd much rather help another person than have exclusive drip myself. So money's not a motivator to me, but the people that I've met, the relationships that I've built on the way, man. I, like, for instance, same thing. And this is not directly through clones, but while I was out there, I bumped into somebody else I met through Web3. That's a crypto punk that has a project called the minthouse.io that's geared towards families and teaching kids about Web3. And he just happened to be in Japan at the same time I was in Japan. And he reached out to me and he's like, yo, you want to go to a baseball game? I bought you tickets, bro. Like, and we go to a professional baseball game in Japan, off of the same strength of the relationship we built. Come to find out, he lives right here in Orange County, just, not too far from me. And he's got a very, very,
very big business with his family, and he's doing a lot of big things. So you never know what type of connections these things can. And we got along great. We really vibe well. So while I feel like everybody's talk is valid, and I feel like everybody's points are very valid, you know, Vincent included for sure, I definitely agree with where he's coming from, and I hear it. But I think that you know, it all depends. Like a lot of people have astutely pointed out, it all depends on what you're trying to get out of this. And like right now, like I have business plans for my clone as well, and I haven't been able to implement them as much just because I'm so busy with so much other stuff. But the relationships I've built, and just to wrap it up and take that a step further, on the flight back home, I was literally sitting next to one of the founding clones from CloneX China, from CloneX Greater China, and she owns an art space in China, a really dope art space. And she's like, "Yo, I'm here in LA for this week. If you know any clones," that she's a Azuki holder, she's a kid called Beast holder. She got a bunch of Azuki, kid called Beast. She's like, "If you know any clones that want to connect, you know, I'd love to connect with someone around out here." So I reached out to the CloneX LA people, like, "Yo, I met this young lady on the flight out here from, you know, CloneX China," and a bunch of people are like, "Yo, let's connect, let's vibe." And so, you know, I feel like because of CloneX, bro, I could go almost anywhere in the world, and I know that I'll have like family, friends that are down to help me out, show me a good time, and also, you know, build business connections, build whatever. So it really just depends on how you look at it, for sure.
And that's
Amen.
where the investment comes in. Well said.
Well, Snap just killed that, bro. Like, shout out to being Snap coming back to Tokyo and having a nice trip, bro. We appreciate that. We glad you had a great time. You killed that one, and you made a great point about Da Vinci and Raphael and Leonardo and Donatello and Master Splinter and all of them. That gets a great time to do exactly what you feel like you need to do, and it might not be something that's huge right now, but you never know what it can grow to. But just take those steps to do so. If we got to go with the hands, who
It was
was?
Rose then Deep.
It was no, Nav was before me.
So you look at this, we all confused. Who we going to next then? Navi, and
It was
then
either
No,
Rose
it's
or Nav.
Rose.
Yeah, let Rose go, and then I'll go after Rose.
we go to Rose, even if it was anybody else. So we're going to Rose. Rose Grill.
Oh no! I can wait. I can wait. You guys can go. No, we go. We go by the hands. It was, I think, Navi, Deep, Justin, and me.
You guys can tell we don't do hands a lot, right? We're all jacked up. All right, Navi, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if I should be going first. I'm this thing called bad take. I'm about to do that. I'm about to agree with Vince. Is everybody ready for this? Well, first of all, you know, I look around and I'm like, everybody making incredibly valid points. But what's important is that in everybody's valid points, they're like, well, for me, I'm here for this. But if you're here for this, or if these other people are here for that, then that's on you. But in that sentiment, that is establishing the fact that for us, in fact, probably everybody in this space right now, floor price doesn't matter. In fact, for a lot of people who own clones right now, especially right now, floor price doesn't matter to any of us. And I think what Vince was trying to put forward was that for a lot of people looking at the space, whether like the hype around NFTs was built around people saying, you paid how much for a JPEG of a monkey? So if other people are going to look into our space and our clones and all of us, for example, the amazing stories that all of us have just told, and everybody had it. Like even Snap talking about his trip to Japan, which funny enough, watching his photos, I bought myself tickets to go to Japan, so I'm going to Japan in the summer. But that's just the point. But like, yeah, obviously all of us are in this room talking about the amazing things that we've experienced from our clones and what we feel confident that Artifact's going to deliver to us in the future. But anybody not in this space, anybody looking in, just like when they were looking at the monkeys that started the whole NFT hype in the first place, they're looking at floor price. So until we get to the point where Artifact starts delivering on the things that we expect them to deliver, then floor price will go up. And then everybody's going to actually care about the floor price. And then we get another rush. But at all these points, the floor price still matters, regardless of the massive amount of utility that we all get from being in here.
Now we dropping facts. That's real. I agree with everything you said, even going to China in the end of summer or Japan at the end of summer. That's real. So who we go next? Deep. Man, it's hand shit. I just
Yes,
start
sir.
yelling at the time like we usually do.
So yeah, it was me. So okay, I have a couple things to say. I agree with Navi, and yeah, like I said, and what everyone else said. I'm not gonna reiterate too much, but it's about value and what you see in your value, right? And what you do with that value. I think the reason people got heated, I'll be honest, and the reason why I kind of got heated was because of the points that were backed up by it, right? Saying that clones aren't building, comparing it to bored apes, saying that like there, even while Compound was explaining who was building, we've been having these conversations for a month. Um, During NFT LA, Dre set up a whole convention. We've been building with Azuki Vaughn, CrossFit, tweeted out like he's with Artifact, and we're building with them. You know what I mean? Vincent, I haven't seen you in a month. You know, in this space, you haven't been to these conversations. People are gonna feel some type of way coming in here, dropping a bomb like that. Okay, it's one thing to have valid facts, but then to say uh, that we're not building, people aren't using their IP, bro.
Never said that. Never said
You
that. I
you
never
did
said people were
you
not
said
building.
you said that about you were comparing it to bored apes. You were saying that look at the
Of course I
Witcher.
compared it, bro. But I here, listen. Let me get it straight, dude. What I
Even when
said was
Compound,
that
let me just finish. Let me finish. When Compound was literally naming it out, right? You said, "Oh, I've looked into these people. It's been a year." People are gonna feel some type of way about it. You know what I mean? So like, if you think that you could do it, right? If you have the mind to do it, you should be doing it. You should be building with us in the last month. But I
I
haven't seen
no,
anything yet.
bro. I'm gonna stop you right there. So I compared the scale. I said people are building businesses. People are using the clone brand to augment their things. Like, okay, like for instance, I brought up Vega. He's a rapper, but he's not a CloneX rapper. He's been a music artist since before he was a clone. He's using his clone to tap into this community. Okay, other people like Taiwan Swag, for instance, like they're using their clones, but they've had businesses before then. What I'm comparing the CloneX IP to is that people over-index on renders, right? Which which is great for UGC. No other community, in the Web3 space has the depth of UGC that Artifact does. It's a fact because of the assets, because of how good they are, and because of how many tools are available. I'm never discounting that. I'm never denying that. I'm never denying the art or discounting the art that people make. All I'm saying is that those things, they cater to the super fans like yourself and me and probably everyone else on the stage right here because we are in somewhat of an echo chamber. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's
So
bad.
if you if
I'm not discounting it. I'm saying hold on. I'm saying that the UGC is only going so far. And I said that I feel that the UGC right now, and this is not a comment to anyone's art, and I'm not critiquing anyone's art. I'm saying that from a whole ecosystem perspective, that the UGC has gotten its course. Like there either needs to be more tools that are provided to more people, or it somehow needs to permeate beyond our thought bubble. That's the whole point. People always talk about mass adoption. If I'm not bringing this up, then people are talking, oh, mass adoption this, mass adoption that. Okay, and we'll get there through UGC, but right now things are at a point where you can't just rely on people's art to say that floor doesn't matter. Like my point is still valid. Like floor
Okay,
matters,
look,
bro. Like
like I said, it's not only art. There's legit businesses, and he was naming them out. For example, there's a band in Japan that just got created. There was literally a fashion show yesterday, a real life fashion show in person. They were using their clones. I'm making a hot sauce. If anything, it's actually a better environment to invest and do these things because why would I go into bored apes, buy a bored ape for 60 to 80 ETH, depending on if it looks nice or not, then compete with all the people that are creating brands already, right? So it
dude,
depends
I
on the
agree with you. I agree. I
the
100%
value.
agree with you. I would 100% agree with you. And if I was thinking of doing that, I'd probably do the same thing. You get in at a very low price, and you have people who aren't doing things like that in this community. That's exactly what I'm saying, though. People aren't like, okay, so fashion show, right? Like, that's really cool. Compound sent me that over DM. I asked, can you buy these clothes? I didn't get a response yet, so I don't know if you can buy these clothes. Like, that's great for exposure, but it's not like bringing this, like, for instance, what are those guys who do the podcast, the Nelk Boys, right? Like, you have people like that
Yo,
who are
Dre, are
building
you
like,
making money off your CloneX LA clothes?
sorry, what was
Or
that?
is it,
Wait. Say that again.
Are you making money off your CloneX LA clothes or Synamine? You know the clothes that they're making and selling for
I plead
money?
the fifth. I
Yes,
plead.
bro. I bought
Just
all of
tell
their
me.
clothes, by the way.
Just tell me. I
But
plead
it's
the fifth.
only like it's only recirculating within the same like hands, essentially, right? Like that's the whole thing. That's why like things like
That's what's
floor,
happening
like
with Bored Apes too. You
Yeah,
think it's
bro.
going to fucking Elon Musk and
It's
like
same
to
12,000
celebrities?
shit anyways. It's all it is. It's everybody within the communities supporting the community projects, man. It's just on a larger scale in Bored Apes. What it's really
yes, dude. Agreed.
within the clones, and it's really unfair to make it a negative that the community is supporting these businesses, because it's the same exact thing. And inside of Azuki, I've seen multiple businesses built with their IP, and same with Bored Apes. Like the community is supporting them, and maybe they are the largest purchasers right now, but the goal is to build and move outside of their community.
For sure. And if I was in Izuki right now, and today was whatever it is, April 9th or 10th or whatever it is, I'd be asking the same question. It just so happens that I'm in Artifact, and it happens that the floor is like going to zero. And if you ask any questions about the floor, or even not, I wasn't even asking about the CloneX floor. That's the whole thing that people like are putting past me.
It
Like I
wasn't
did
the
not ask
question.
about.
Like Navi, like I explained this earlier. The points that you backed it up with did not have anything to do with floor, and you're saying we weren't building. So obviously people are gonna get annoyed, right? Because these people here have been building every day, showing up every day in the space. If you had a valid agreement, like argument, everyone would agree. Like we're reasonable people. You know what I mean? We're not gonna just like
Bro, I just did.
shut you
I said,
down.
okay, would you, here, let me ask you this directly. Let me ask you, okay, do you think that people, do you think that people see CloneX, like the general, like I'm talking in general, right? People within the Web3 ecosystem. And that's everyone. That's artists, that's traders, that's investors, that's collectors. But people like, that's the thing, like people over index on like the creative side with Artifact. And that's super important. But like there are three other different stakeholders that are like, that you need to cater to as an NFT project. Like, bro, you talk about Whale Swoosh, like Whale Swoosh, like he's laid this out like a million times. Like this is not rocket science. So my question is like, okay, so do you think that people aspire to trade up to an ape or an Azuki more or less than they do to a clone, considering all perspectives, not just artists,
But
but
wait,
all
but you
perspectives?
talking about hype again, bro. You're talking about people
Everybody's
that bring in hype.
Bro,
everybody's
hype, dude.
different.
Dre, are you like, bro? You're all about hype, bro. You
Right, but
wear
I'm
like all the hype stuff, bro.
basically
Like
like this.
you know how this is. Like,
You're not comparing apples and oranges. Like this isn't the same situation here. This we are talking about breaking out to the next level and
so are
different
you
eco.
saying that Artifact is in a class of its own and it doesn't deserve to be comped to any of the PFP projects? Is that what like the consensus is? I'm just trying to understand.
It's like
It's
comparing
different.
sneakers to trading cards. Like Bored Apes are building something completely different than what Artifact's building. You're looking at like the streetwear brand of Web3 compared to like the virtual world of Web3. Completely different verticals. So yes, they share the collectible in common, but just like you can't compare a trading card to a sneaker, you can't compare that here.
But dude,
Like
like
with
we're
the
talking
poll,
about digital assets here, man. Like you have to compare within the same universe. You cannot compare an
Vince,
NFT
Vince,
to a digital.
Vince, you have to. So I'm just going to make this statement. I understand what you're getting at, but you have to step back. You keep talking about the PFPs. You have to step back, and you brought up the whole business point earlier, and you have to step back and look at what business is behind the PFP. You gotta forget, and I don't care if it's Clone Azukis, apes, doodles. It doesn't freaking matter. It comes down to what business is behind the PFP. What are people building with it? This is strictly an access pass to what's being built behind it. And until people understand that, they're going to worry about the freaking floor price and everything else.
Can
Guys,
I reset the tone
yeah, we had a
of the
bunch.
space?
Go ahead, Rose.
Please
I
do.
regret not taking my spot earlier.
Come on, Rose.
Y'all are crazy. Come on. Okay, it's very healthy to compare and contrast. Make just pure comparison is not healthy, I would say. Like to compare and contrast. Like you should be able to do this. And I appreciate Vincent's point of view. He did throw it out there. And I think it is a triggering kind of topic because we've seen it. But if we could take a moment and not worry about our particular position or how OG we are, because that annoys me to death because I joined in August. So no, I don't care if you minted and then all that stuff, because there's so many of us with different timelines, and I think inquiring about floor price shouldn't get you demonized in any way. I think how you address it and carry the conversation is super healthy, because for people that want to enter, their perspective of floor price is vastly different from ours when it's so low. And so if we can explain to them and almost acknowledge and almost like comfort them to be like, yeah, we know we've been in here for the long run, different time periods, but here's why we're staying, and here's other metrics that we're looking at, where floor price is important, but it's not the sole metric. It is not the heartbeat metric. If you assess the health of a company, it's many different things. And I think comparing the business model of what it offers us as holders, the business potential is great. We've talked about that a lot. But I think there's merit to assessing the business of the brand and how they're operating, and where there's good and bad, and where we think that they could do better, or celebrate the successes of what Yuga did well, and then reflect on that, and just to be able to celebrate that as a whole, I think is super healthy. But I don't know, I'm always the type that will try to listen intently for a way to connect, and sometimes it's hard to do when it like makes you super nervous. And I love the discussion because I think we're so passionate about it, and I'm a hiring manager at work, and I always tell my team we're so different, and that's a good thing, right? Like, because we have to come with so many different points of view to make this a better place and to be innovative. But I also tell them that I understand as a manager, like, everybody wants to be a valued member of a winning team. We're all here believing about Artifact because we believe that they're a winning team, and on the flip side, I think we all want to be a valued member, a part of the community. And so when I see like the harshness of some of the responses, it's like, whoa, am I not allowed to ask about floor price next? Because I might wonder or ponder. Or what if I want to ask about the volume of trades next? I think there's a way of you chatting about it, and I think the Twitter chat group, I think the drop mentioned in there, I think spurs a little bit like of, I don't know, negative swirling that happens, which carries through here. But I just wanted to say I appreciate you all for being so passionate. I think maybe a moment to like not shout would be good, because when we're all shouting, we really can't be listening. And I tell my kids that all the time. So not to put the
I
mom
appreciate
card out
that.
there,
Like,
but
I agree. And again, like, I'm just here to ask the question, right? Like, so okay, so
Wait,
let's
wait,
just say,
wait.
like,
We
right
gotta go
now,
to the hands, Vince.
bro, my hand,
Vince,
straight up,
Vince.
my hand was raised, dude. My hand was raised. I literally
I
saw
know,
Von
but
Soul raise his hand. So
that
don't
means
even come
you're
at me with that,
next,
because you weren't
bro.
watching it. You
Yo,
were
Wait,
not
Von
watching it.
Von
you're a co-host.
CrossFit had his
Wait. Jesus Christ. Vince, you've been a co-host for this situation for so long. You understand how this works. Just because your hand is up don't mean you get to go next. That ain't just a tell-all tale. The homie Vaughn that had his hand up forever, we got to go to him first. And then we can come back to you. And plus, Vince, if we let you go, bro, we'll be here for another 15 minutes, man. You just go. Slow down, son. You're killing them. Let's get somebody else up here real quick. Vaughn, go ahead, man. Vaughn CrossFit, not Vaughn Soul. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up? That shit's stupid, spicy in here. Shit, dumb, spicy in here. But I ain't gonna front though. We need these conversations and shit. These conversations is definitely healthy because you hearing both sides of the spectrum and all that. So me personally, like I could understand where Vincent is coming from, feel me? Cause like, I bought Azuki at top of fucking ETH, you feel me? At like 3,500 and shit. Like I'm not, bro, I don't got bread, bro. I don't got bread for me. So that purchase was a lot for me, you feel me? So to watch that shit ride all the way to 30 ETH, not sell shit, and then to watch that shit dump on me, 6 ETH, bro, that shit was the most terrifying shit in my life, bro. That shit was, bro, like I done been through a lot of shit in my life. I ain't gonna front. But that shit was the most craziest shit I done ever experienced. You feel me? That shit is just like it's terrifying, feel me? And like you gonna be questioning, you gonna be asking, you gonna be your blood is just gonna be boiling. You don't know what's going on, you feel me? But like the community, like for me, like the community is what kept me in. Like I got my dude Sunway at the bottom, that in the crowd and all that. He's the reason why I didn't sell my shit. I'm on the phone with him. Floor is like 6 ETH and shit. I'm on the phone with him. Shit, I'm panicking type shit. He's talking to me like on man to man shit and all that. And like push come to shove, I didn't sell, and I'm like I'm happy because shit bounced back. Feel me? You just gotta You just gotta believe in this shit, bro. Like, you know, artifact is gonna bounce back, bro. Like, y'all definitely gonna bounce back, man. This shit ain't about nothing. Feel me? All you gotta do is just trust, believe in one another. Feel me? Hold hands. Feel me? And just grind this shit out, man. This shit ain't gonna last, bro.
Appreciate you, CrossFit. Yo, Drake.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, like
Whoa,
just to.
Ellen, come out of
Oh
nowhere.
man, I thought
No,
when
We're
me and
doing a
Vaughn looked the
handstand.
same, dude. I was just trying to sneak one in. All right.
go
We're
ahead, man.
doing a handstand. We're trying to try something new, right? We're trying to be organized. There's new people here. We got to show out for our company, okay?
I
Let's
got
keep
you. I
it
got you.
together.
Ellen wanted to back up Vaughn. We love you, Ellen. We love both the Azukis and Steinway down there. So Vince was next?
Um, I don't even know. I think we need a rock paper scissors championship to see who's going.
Crazy, bro. That is crazy, dude. That is crazy, bro. Wow, that is just insane. All right, so since I'm talking, I'm just gonna go. So if the floor price doesn't matter today, like when does floor, like for any NFTs, like please stop anchoring the discussion in artifact. Like again, I'll say this 1,000 times. Like the question was not
Yeah,
related to
you will.
artifact. When does the floor matter? When does the floor matter? And I want to like anyone can answer. Like please educate me on when you think floor matters or when it doesn't matter.
We're saying, Vince, that we're not saying it doesn't matter. We're saying yes and no. It just depends on your perspective and what you're doing it for. That's what everyone is saying. We're not arguing. We're not debating. We're not saying one is right and one is wrong because we can never say that. It's different perspectives that are encompassed in this entire sector. Some people got in just to be traders. Some
But
people
dude,
got in
that's what
to
I
avoid
was
a
saying though.
tavern.
Like
There's a bigger
literally, the
picture.
only
That's
person
what
who
Dre's saying.
agreed with me was Boo. Like
Huh?
the only, and I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but the only person who agreed with me
No,
on
that's
that was Boo.
see now, Vince. You're trying to make me feel like you're unhinged because that's not the truth. Tevy sat up here and told you that he agreed with you and everything you just said. It was multiple people. Deep said it.
Benjamin.
Snap said it. I said it. Rose
I
said
said it.
it.
Benjamin.
Like everybody, you're not listening. You coming in with this young man energy, not paying attention. You got to open your ears and close your
Yeah,
mouth, or you got to
All right,
speak.
yo,
so
Vincent,
Fluent.
yo, Vincent, I
you
fuck with,
admit that,
yo,
so
Vincent, I
you
fuck
admit
with
that
what you
floor
saying
matters.
too, bro. I fuck with what you
We're
saying, bro.
saying
No one's
yes
saying it
and
doesn't
no.
matter. We're saying that value, there's an intrinsic
Bro, I didn't
value and there's
ask about
bigger
value
scope.
though, dude. That's the thing. You're conflating value with price. I'm not asking
Well,
about
Okay, I
that.
think you're
I
just
know the
focusing
to
too
go
much
difference,
on
dude.
directly to
floor.
your
You should
answer,
just
to go
floor
directly
it.
to
You
your
know what I
answer,
mean? At
Vince.
this point.
Yes and no. Yes and no. It
Yes
matters
and no.
depending
See,
on
all these
yeah,
non-answers, dude.
because
Oh my
depending on the point of what you're here for. Let's take another analogy. If
Wait,
you're in a relationship and you're only there to get one thing, it doesn't matter if you're talking about love and relationship and building. You're there for the in and the out. So it does not matter if you're talking about, oh, I'm here for the long run. It depends on what you're there for. Some people are here just to flip. We saw those people capitulate and get up out of here because in their minds it matters.
I can tell you,
It's other people who are here to be here for the long run. So that's why you see the same faces who minted the OGs that Rose was talking about. She was talking about me, yes, and I'm gonna ride that to the end of the earth. Yes, I'm an OG, but we're here because of the long run, the longevity behind it. So to us, it does not matter per se. If
bro,
they're here,
same, just straight up same, personally same. Like, and I'm just gonna
but
be real,
it
the
does.
same,
I'm
bro.
saying yes and no. That's the answer. You want me to agree with you just so you can say yes, it matters. I can't
Because
fully
it
agree
does
with you,
matter.
but it depends on people's perspective, Vince. It depends. There is no right or wrong answer here, bro. Just you got to
Yeah.
and I
choose.
can take a shot at this that addresses every single constituency why it does matter. But Vincent, it's not the reason why I think you think it matters. So let's just look at clones, right? Where it's a membership token and a license, right? We're all licensees basically, and we're members of this community. It matters if you are planning to build in this space. Okay, does the price currently to buy into this membership community and the license valuable? Is it low enough for you to think you're going to get a return, whatever return means to you, on that investment to be part of the community and to commercialize your license? If you're not a builder, but you actually then are betting on other people to build and value that license and membership, do you think that it's a adequate or low enough price for others to join the community and to commercialize their license so that you could then monetize or commercialize on other people's valuing of that primary asset, right? So it's very logical about what do you think the value of the membership and the licenses. It's just like, look, if Soho House changes their annual membership, people aren't going to say like, oh, look at the floor price. They're going to say, okay, they raised it to $5,000 a year. Is that value? Is that worth it for what I get out of it? Same thing here. And I just wanted to point to this, like, you look at like Amazon stock, right? Like it took 14 years for Amazon to become profitable. Those who waited like became multi millionaires, not people who got in on the IPO price, those who got in on retail, right? Of course, those 5 years into it, if they flipped, they're like, oh, that wasn't worth it. Those who waited, they're like, wow, that was generational wealth, right? And it just it reminds me about this a lot. In my view, both like emotional health and financial health often is a function of delayed gratification instead of immediate gratification. We just happen to have all experienced or witnessed some people who made it from the immediate gratification or the quick, and that's the exception. That's not the rule. And now everyone is treating that as the rule rather than the exception. It takes a long time for businesses to build. It takes a long time to build value. And by the way, often the really hyped up, like skyrocket very quickly, often leads to crash and burn. And those who are more organic with healthy building tend to maybe take a lot longer, but tend to last a lot longer too. So I just am reminded of that through all these discussions. It's just like delayed gratification. I know it's so hard for us to psych ourselves into that mentality, but I'm telling you, it like helps both with emotional and honestly financial well-being, because in these times, this is the only reason I think floor price matters now. Not financial advice, but people who make massive, I'm talking about generational upon generational wealth, do so in times of fear and in our I guess world, FUD. That's when people make their money, not during the bull market. They make money because they double down on things they have strong conviction in. Do with that what you will, but if you have strong,
Yes.
whatever community is, I'm a huge optimist, but there's massive opportunity right now.
For sure, for sure, and I agree, dude. And you brought up some good points. You brought up some interesting ones that I don't agree with like a lot, especially on like the how you like sort of think about these as businesses. Like I think they're best comps actually marketplaces. But yeah, man, like I mean that's why I'm here. That's why I'm asking the question in this group, and that's why I have 4 clones. Like, and I bought them, all the way down, and right. So like I'm on our side. Like let's not forget who's wearing the home team jersey here. It's a question, right? And it's a valid question because a lot of it is weighted in price. Like these are financial markets, right? And we've attached this really really unique vector of art, but then also art that transcends 3D and even 4D space, right? So I think like the conclusion here, you know, I think like you're always going to get people who compare. Some people's jobs it's to compare and to think about these things, which is that's my job, right? Is to compare and to think analytically about different ecosystems. But yeah, man, like that's what got me into the project in the first place. It's just like sort of the complexity and sort of how I think the team is thinking on a 4D level, not necessarily just the same flat 2D thing, right? So it makes it tough to value these things, right? Value both in terms of like emotional benefit, but also monetary benefit, right? Like to kid yourself and say that floor doesn't matter is we've beat this topic, you know, to death at this point, but it all matters, right? And there are different metrics for each person, but again, like there are generally 4 or 5 stakeholders that a project needs to sort of appease, and it definitely over indexes on the art. And I mean the market it's reflecting sort of some of those things, right? Whether or not they'll pay off though in the long term, like dude, like my bet is definitely here, like both like monetarily but also like emotionally. Like did I know like a lot of these people on these stages, met them like IRL in LA or Utah or whatever the case is. It's just I like to ask the hard questions because like I don't know who else will ask him, and I'm not gonna like go out there and like air the dirty laundry on like some FUD engagement post. Like what good does that get other than just weirdness, right? So yeah, I mean, I think we had a really good discussion. I don't take any of it personally. Like I've been driving the whole time anyway, so half the time I can't even see who's speaking. So whoever said whatever they did to me, I'll probably won't even remember it tomorrow. But I think it was a good discussion. I think it brought up a lot of really interesting points, and I think we should maybe even save this for a later date, like just to look back on and see where we were in April 23.
Hey Vince, I think that you're a very analytical thinker and you're asking a very broad and general question and expecting a white or black answer when there's a lot of gray in the middle. I think the question could be maybe worded differently and people would be able to answer it better, but it has brought up a lot of good conversation. You can't expect an absolute answer, yes or no, for something that there's a lot of gray in the middle for some people. You know what I mean? It's a very general question, and that's a little bit why a lot of people got heated, is just because and then you can't answer it just black or white, man. There's a lot, people are here for a lot of different reasons. Who had their hands up next?
People got heated because I'm tired of your shit, Vince. I'm just playing, bro. I'm just joking. It's always good, bro. We appreciate you when you come. I know it hasn't been a while, and I'm sure you're doing your thing out there, but this is why we appreciate you so much,
I was
because
here
you give
last
good
week.
perspective.
Dude.
Hey, Vince, you don't have to lie to me. I'm here every day, bro. You don't have to lie to me, okay? I'm here every day. You weren't. It says I haven't seen you since 2022, man. Okay. No, I'm just playing. But no, we do appreciate you for real. So it's definitely never hard feelings, and this is a great conversation that we could have. And look at the engagement; it gets the people up. They get to spill their heart and soul and yell and cuss and spit at you at the same time. So it's all a good, effective communication. We appreciate that. Let's go to Merrill, man. Sorry, Tevin. I gotta go to Merrill. He's been up for a while. Then we go
What's
to
what's
Merrill. What's that, man? What's that?
No, no, it's not much. I don't know. It's maybe I shouldn't ask the question because it kind of the conversation's moved on. So I don't know. I think there are perspectives. I feel like I need to say it. Like working in a project, the floor price matters sometimes because it's part of the business model, right? I think that's the only comment I'm going to make, not elongate that. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Tokyo's been nice. NFT community is strong. DAO Tokyo's happening. Met a clone last night who isn't really into NFTs, but more into crypto, and guys from LA, like just trading every day. So you get all sorts of people and value from that. And I've just been non-stop meeting clones and not doing work. So I feel like there's a bit of a routine or the hot spots to bring people when they come to Tokyo. So let us know when you're in here.
No, I'm definitely flying through. I think that is part of the work. Meeting clones is that's work. That's God's work right there. We appreciate you for that. I'm willing my way there by the end of the month. So.
Oh, Dre, are you going to the meetup?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I am. You're damn tootin'. I am. You know what I mean? Speaking to existence. Click. What's crack a lacking?
Oh shit, dude! I was just in the middle of a message for like the last 5 minutes. Not gonna lie, totally forgot what we were talking about. Floor price. That was the thing. I don't collect NFTs the way probably most of you in here do. I honestly I do a lot of my collecting on Tezos, which like whatever, but I love it. They got the dopest art on there, but anyways, as soon as I buy an NFT, I assume that its price is going to zero because like I'm not reselling like 95+% of my things. Like I don't care what I buy NFTs. I'd say like maybe like 85 to 90% of the time is strictly because I like the artist or the art, or I've like collected a whole bunch of work from a particular artist, and I'm just buying like their new stuff. Like I don't even like the art itself almost doesn't even matter a lot of times. But if I only ever spend money on things that I love and that I would want to hold or collect anyway, you can't be rugged. Like it's impossible to rug me. Like I don't care what happens to the collection or the project that it's part of. I mean, I do care in the sense that like I hope it's like a nice body of work or whatever. But like if it wasn't and it just went off, it doesn't matter because I still have the piece and I bought it because I like it. Like I still, it's so it's these conversations about floor pricing in particular are always like a little, I don't know, surreal feeling. Like they're just, yeah, I don't know. And I like the PFP stuff. Like they're fun. Like they're kind of nonsense, and like they don't really do as well on Tez because most people on Tezos are like, it's a very different vibe from like what you see around on Ethereum most of the time. And I don't know. I feel like some of you clones should come and check out Tezos, and you could like there's a lot of the markets like pretty open. I think there's not a whole lot of super exciting stuff happening anywhere. I don't know,
Make it more user friendly, and I'll go over.
Like
bro.
that was
It's
this often
so user friendly, dude. Like I could send. Y'all
UI
don't even
wise.
need to download a wallet. You can just use your Twitter account and like go sign in and have like y'all already have Tezos wallets. I could send you guys stuff right now, and you could go log in and get it with your Twitter account. And you can also go use that on like the marketplaces and shit. And yeah, I don't
Hey,
know.
click,
There's
click. Don't
lots of
come
cool
here
stuff
shilling your
happening.
projects, bro. Don't come in here with a
I'm
whole
not
nother.
shilling nothing, bro.
Hey, click. Hey, click. Hey, we ain't got no space for that. Okay. Don't come here shilling your stuff.
Get out of here, bro.
it was the best show ever. He was like, dude, I'm on Tezos, whatever. And then nothing going on over here.
So nonchalant. Like, you don't even gotta do nothing for real. I can just send it to you right now. All you gotta do is just sign up.
I'm sold. Click, you can onboard me. I'm good. I'll DM you.
Sounds good.
Look what you've done, Click. Look
All
what
right,
you've
so
done.
phones are bridging over to Tezos. That's the TLDR for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because floor doesn't matter. Because we're bridging to Tesla's.
Putting the money where the mouth is. Well, not me.
We got
I don't have any money.
Vincent
That's
to
why I'm on
say floor
Tezos.
doesn't
But
matter. That's awesome.
Too soon, Vince. Too soon. Tevy, what's up, bro?
Hey, I just wanted to answer Vince's question earlier because I thought it was a great question. The question around when a floor doesn't matter, when is a good time to sell? Then I think that's the question that he asked, and I'll just
No, it was just when does it matter? If it doesn't
yeah
matter
yeah.
now, when does it
If
matter?
it doesn't matter now, when does it matter? And my answer to that is if you bought a few clones with the intent to again resell and make a profit, then the logical answer is it matters in the bull run. Like you're not going to sell when floor are next to zero. So obviously you want to see how much the project builds, and so that when you get to the bull market, there's more provenance, there's a lot more, and there's more value accumulated into the project. And that's really when, if you're going to take profit or you're going to sell, that's probably when it matters. Like in a bull market, if your floor price is still next to nothing, that's probably when I would say, yeah, like what's going on? Why, despite everything that's been built, why isn't the floor reflecting that? That's probably where I would say it would matter. If you ask me, that's when I would say, yeah, that's probably matters. But at that point, then it goes back to my point earlier of you have to step back and think about what project is behind each one of these PFPs and what is the value that's being built for the users and for the holders, and or what have you built yourself, right? At that point, you got, that's really when you have to get, I guess, you get your come to Jesus moment, which is I've been holding this asset for X amount of time, X amount of years. We're through the bull cycle. We've been building forever. Is there, and we're not going anywhere. And again, you have to ask yourself, do I care about what I can get out of flipping the JPEG, or is the access behind it more important? And I think what we heard tonight from a lot of people here is the access behind it is more important. But if I have to answer, when does it matter? It matters during the bull market. And that's when, like anything that you put money in and that you're hoping to get some kind of ROI, whether it's monetary or again, network, whatever it is, whatever you define value as, it's when everything is pumping and going to the moon that you have to decide, is it time to get out? And the reason why a lot of people get, butt hurt over floor price and everything else is because most people didn't realize that the bull market was going to end, and everyone thought this was going to keep going up. So that's my answer for you as far as like when does it matter? It's in the bull market. Like right now, you hold 4 clones. I would say, yeah, you're, and if you bought them all right now and at the lowest of the low potentially, that's a damn good investment. Because you probably, unless you're building,
Damn right.
yeah, unless you're building like a TV show or some kind of different show where you need multiple characters to do whatever it is that you're doing, you probably, nobody really needs that many clones unless you're collecting, right? So yeah,
Or you're crazy.
what's that?
Or you're crazy.
Well, that too, but it goes back to
Yeah.
like, yeah, why are you buying these assets, and what do you intend to do with it? And if and I'll give you one last example, and I'll turn it back. If if you're a sneakerhead, right, and I'll just give you a quick example. If you're a sneakerhead and your whole plan is to, I want to have access to exclusive shoes, then I would say you probably want every single DNA, because now not only are you able to get each one of those shoes right when they come out, but you can also resell it to whoever. And so at that point, it makes sense that you would invest, especially right now when everything is low, make your ETH go farther, buy up every single DNA. It doesn't even matter what the clone looks like. It could be the ugliest clone in the collection, but if it has the trait that you're looking for, the DNA, then it makes sense. So again, if we're going to sit here and talk purely investment and how this makes sense, that's how it makes sense.
Yeah, I'll just say last thing, and I got a dip, but I think if I were to ask probably any other community, I don't think I'd get the response I got. Like, that is just so like multifaceted when it comes to like all the 4 or 5 different stakeholders that I mentioned: investors, collectors, artists, like curators, right? Like that's why I'm here, right? And that's kind of why I'm asking, because I don't think that I'd get the same answer if I asked different communities, because they just don't have those forces at play that this one does. So yeah, that
Can I jump in quickly? Just to say, like, I think, as I was mentioning earlier, I think as if you're a project runner, the floor price is important in terms of the royalties. If that still is a thing these days, with contracts being written, it is important to keep the floor price up so that every trade does give you a little bit of like revenue in for the project, because everyone knows, business is run by burn rate. So with then Decadent, for example, we just sold out on the keys, and like I was worried that once we reveal, the floor price might dip because people aren't happy with the art, and therefore that reduces our revenue. So just 2 cents there.
Yo, Vincent, before you leave, I honestly respect the discussion, and the point you brought up made me even more bullish on this space and these people. Also, like Compound said, he is right. I think if you rephrased it and maybe the specific information you're trying to get, it would be easier for us to answer. And like I can answer for myself if you want, for example. Like for me, I bought at the bottom. Like I can flip it right now and make a profit, especially based off the DNA. So for me, it doesn't matter, right? Also, like yo, this whole space has been. So I respect that and appreciate you bringing that up, because like I got everyone thinking about it too, right? Also, like this is the first space I haven't made a joke yet, so I gotta throw one in before I leave. So like floor is the only thing that matters, and I'm gonna go and floor my clone right now and go to sleep, because I'm done with the space, and yeah, fuck this space, honestly.
Where's the joke?
Nah, the only projects that haven't done well say that, hey, the floor
Hey yo,
matters.
subscribe. I wasn't done.
The
Now,
floor doesn't, bro. All the projects that is doing shitty, all of them are saying the floor doesn't matter, bro. They're fucking crying, bro. Like, nah, is Artifact crying? I don't see an Artifact crying. Why are you guys talking about this shit, bro?
Bro, I cried like 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Then the floor does matter, guys. Or the floor doesn't matter.
It was
Well, whatever it is, bro. Like, you guys are talking about the floors like it's fucking... Bro.
gotta clean my floors. Actually, now that we've been talking about floors, it's been pretty dirty, so gotta do that as well.
I heard the floor doesn't matter like more than 10 times by every single person in here, bro.
What did
You
they?
didn't hear me crying though. I cried as well. So I was
I,
canceled.
I, I heard you, bro. You was canceled. They didn't respect the hands. That's unlike bad take.
Bro, we don't ever have hands. So when we have hands, we're fucking confused.
All
We
right. What are
don't
y'all doing?
texting each other like, who's next? We don't have hands around here. All of a sudden, 7 people want to raise their hands out of nowhere. Like, we got a notepad ready for this shit. Fuck y'all. What's up, Ellen?
Nah, this is all
What's up?
fully rotated into Milady, bro.
Oh god.
Like, bro, it's gonna, man,
Yo, respect the hands, bro.
bro.
Yo, where did some?
Milady flip artifact.
No, I love subscribe. Look, no, to I want to say my piece on this, and I think that it's an important aspect, and I mean, I think that this space in particular, this spaces in particular personifies this, and that is the only reason that a floor price that's gone down matters to me is it separates the wheat from the chaff, and I think that whenever the floor price goes down, a community gets hit, and it gets hit in a way that is unsuspected or unforeseen. They really have to realign their priorities, wonder and ask themselves really hard questions about why they're in this space, what they're doing here, where they see themselves going in this space. And whenever we get to ask those questions in a spaces like Bad Take Together and reaffirm why we're here together and what this community means to us, I think that that is a positive externality of at what it means when a floor price goes down, for example. And I appreciate everyone in this spaces. I appreciate the opportunity to be in here and have conversations around the things that we care about and to reaffirm why I'm here in the Web3 space in particular, and why I'm in CloneX as well, because people like Compound and Dre and Rose and Vega and Vaughn and Tevi and Boo and Deep. It's because of these people that I show up, and you know, the important part is the people that I surround myself with when a floor price is going down. If they're still here, if they're still showing up, if they're still making and creating and putting themselves into a project like this, that shows me who they are. And we don't sit around and talk about, you know, things that are outside of our control. We don't sit around and talk about floor price this, floor price that. We sit around and talk about how we're moving forward in the space together and how we can lift each other up, and what things that we're excited about as we move forward, what things that are in the pipeline that are going to, you know, springboard, you know, us and our expectations on and our belongingness together, and being able to persevere. Adversity creates a built-in resilience, and so whenever I hear "Does floor price matter?" If the floor price has gone down, yeah, I mean it matters to me in insofar as I know who the believers are, who the true believers are, who is resilient and can stand up against you know, the onslaught of fudders and floor pricers and ooh, your floor price is down, don't you feel bad? No, we don't actually. We're sitting here hand in hand, and we're building and we're creating, and we exist here in this space together right now, and I'm grateful for that, and that to me is invaluable.
He asked if you guys are a believer.
That's a
Is
fact,
Bieber
man.
still holding his artifact?
No, nobody cares about Justin Bieber's scrap. But thanks though. No, this is a great point. Ellen made an excellent point, and I think yeah, nobody. I don't really care about floor price because I've seen and I've built with so many people who've taken astronomical steps to create the success that they want in life from the ground up. I've seen this story happen way too many times in my timeline. I think it's just a difference in perspective, and I don't want to use age as the defining point, but I think it has something to do with it, right? Like Vince, you do stuff with a lot of analytics, and you've lived up to a certain point that gives you a certain perspective. Um, Other people who can and have reached a certain part of the mountain see a little bit further than those who are closer to the base. And I've been around people when I slept on the floor with them who are now superstars, megastars, and created everything they wanted to create just based off of keeping their nose to the ground, grinding it out, and making things happen. And when you see these type of people who have this type of potential, you ride with them. You learn to ride with them, and you learn to pay attention to, again, what Ellen said, the things that you can control, and you ignore the things that you can't. And that's where we are.
Yeah, and those people for sure don't sit on the floor and stare at the floor and go like, "Look at this floor we're sleeping on." They're like, "Hell no!" You know, they're visualizing the future that they want to see. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the most important part of all of this.
Yo, if you buy low on a penny stock and it goes up, that's a good play. But if you buy high on a penny stock and it goes down, it's a bad play. If you buy, high on a good stock, like a expensive stock, is that a bad play? Like, no, I'm gonna just fucking double down, ape shit, bro.
Let me ask y'all: do you guys hate horses? Because this
I
horse
used to
has
watch
been,
Mr. Ed.
we beat this horse into the fucking ground, bro. This horse has been fucking shit on. And this talk, I feel like we have this talk constantly, consistently. This shit gives me diabetes, bro. Like, on God, like, if I didn't have diabetes before, I have diabetes now. But I don't know. I mean, what else? What else do we do with our free time? I can recommend the Disney movie Coco. I just watched that one. It made me a little emotional. But yeah, what else is going on in the world, guys?
Oh man,
Yo,
I had
tell
a
us
point
the.
too, Vega. Like I had a
Oh,
Yo,
sorry.
point
can I hear
too.
some politics?
Wait, let Rose talk.
Okay, real quick though. So, um, I had saved up for my clone. Like it took me a few months to save up, and then when the prices were high, and then it kind of dipped. When the prices dip, there's always a chance to buy, right? But we're looking for buy signals, and I feel like that's in terms of like, how can we affect the floor price? I think us like showing up, we are the buy signal in a way. And I think we need a campaign. Again, I'm a marketer. So for me, I'm like, how do you package this up and pitch it to people that have been sitting on the sidelines for a while, hoping for a clone and be like, yo, yeah, floor price is down, but vibes are up. Let's go. Come join us. Invite them to Bad Take and keep them coming. And this is how we kind of turn the narrative of the low floor price into an actual marketing campaign. Like if we believe it, we tout it, and it's like we're magnets for good people who want to come in. So I don't mind the floor price talk. I think it's just in the context and how we can be savvy about how to
Yo,
leverage it.
have you guys heard of Red Bull story of how they kind of market themselves and how they got big?
The hands, subscribe, the hands.
Bro, nobody cares about the hands. They said it.
Bro,
All right, then I'm gonna ask my question then. Yo,
the
Vega,
hands are
last
there, bro.
week, last week you gave us that quote on NPCs and main characters. I want you to say it again so that everyone that didn't hear it can hear it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like you can either wake up in the morning and choose to be the main character of your own story, doing your own main character things, powering up and getting, superpowers. Or you can decide to be an NPC in The Sims that don't even know how to speak real English and wait for everybody else to do something for you. And then you just sit there and be like, when this and when that, and when can I get a life? But like, don't be the NPC, bro. Just be the main character and do main character things with your main character friends.
God, I love that shit.
He's telling you guys to join Clone Fitness.
Yo, who had their hand up next? Was it Frederick? Let's go to Justin, man. Or was it Deep?
No,
I
no,
just have a
that's all I wanted to say. Sorry.
yeah, question. If you guys already talked about this before I came in, feel free. You don't have to address it again.
I'm still confused about the relationship between dot swoosh and the artifact ecosystem. Does anyone have clarity on that? Like how they're gonna relate to each other? What each, because effectively the dot swooshes are NFTs too that give access. Um, that's my biggest confusion point right now.
Yeah.
Let me go in on this, but I'm waiting on my mom's dog to stop going ham on a cat that ran across the pool house.
I
Like
can give you the
apple pie.
5 minute summary, and then Drake can probably go a lot deeper. I think at
It's
a 10,000 foot level, that swoosh is more geared towards truly the masses. They're from a floor, not floor, from a price perspective, the price point is intended essentially to digitize the current Nike offerings, right? But pull in the community to expand the talent and designs, and really share in with the community. That's really the goal. It's like how do they move into the future and bring the community along and leverage blockchain technology with the NFC chips, and again have better access and visibility to what their target market wants and shops for and everything. So that's really where that switch is coming in. Artifact is really at the forefront, innovating, pushing the envelope, trying to break things in the process, and really show what can be done. And so it's you can think of it as a feedback loop where you have on one end somebody pushing and innovating, the other learning from it, but they're even though they're selling shoes and providing fashion and all that stuff, the that switch is really geared towards how do you bring in the average person that frankly doesn't care about ETH or NFTs, PFPs, all that nonsense, that just wants to buy a cool pair of shoe or a cool T-shirt or whatnot into the ecosystem. That's why they're not talking about NFTs and all that stuff. They're more talking about digital collectibles, and they spent the first few months on the education side of things and trying to connect the dots for people and making it easier for people to get in and kind of hit the ground running with, this is still Nike, you're still getting stuff, but now you can participate, and we're making it easy for you to if you want to dream it and create it, you can do that right alongside with us.
If they pull Starbucks and not call it an NFT, bro, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Well, you're about to do it because every single corporation is going down that path. The time of, yeah, we want to call it an NFT and we're going to buy whatever collection to look trendy, that time has passed. Like people are realizing that it's truly about building um, business for the long run, and how do you position this.
What are they gonna?
What's that?
Wait, do you know what Swoosh is gonna call it?
Oh, I don't know, but what I think, it did say not a. I think they're. I think I saw something where it said like not a JPEG is on their shoe around the NFC chip, something like that. I think they put that on there.
Oh, they call it not a JPEG. I like that shit.
Yeah. So again, it's really more about like how, like again, we're all here because we're all early adopters to some extent, right? And we're looking to see where this space is going, and we want the front row seat to it. But the average person just wants to go to the store, get their shoe, or go online on the sneakers app and get their shoes and their sweaters or whatever it is that they're into. They don't want to deal with all this and sit on Twitter Spaces for hours and talking about floor prices. Are we going to the moon? Are we not? Does it matter? When do I sell? When do I buy? They don't care. They want to be consumers. They want a great product, and that's what that swoosh is going to deliver.
So just to follow up with a more specific question. So if there was someone who's just interested in the latest Nike tech infused products, would your recommendation be for that person to collect the dot swoosh or the clone for first access to that thing? And I guess this another one specific question. I've been following that CryptoKicks patent since like almost since I stepped foot in NFTs. Is that CryptoKicks patent going to be embodied in our CryptoKicks NFTs, meaning like the full-fledged physical meets digital sneaker, or is that going to be something else that's distributed directly from Nike to like the dot swoosh community?
That's
I'm
oh, Drake,
gonna
want to
say
take
that.
it?
Yeah.
All right.
I got the dog out of here. You did a great job though, Tevi. Tevi on top of it. I'm on Vine to go if this is gonna be on point to answering the question that Justin's looking for. So
Not, no, it's not. Go ahead.
all right, well let's cut that out then. I'm gonna say that I think it depends on the sneaker. I think the shoes are the physical embodiment of everything that we've seen thus far between the Nike and CloneX relationship, meaning that they are giving CloneX Artifact a shot to do all of these amazing innovative things and giving it under the CloneX Artifact umbrella to understand the reception of it to a certain extent. I believe that Nike looks at Artifact and see that they have this die-hard community of people who supports them through their specific timeline, the storyline that they create, the lore that they create, the products they create, so on and so forth. And they're looking to see how that response is when it comes to their releases. So to answer your question, I believe so. Yes, the technology will be integrated into the crypto kicks in real life sneakers to see how the response is to having that type of technology in those things compared to if they released it on a grand scale. Because I can only imagine the price point on having something like that in a general release sneaker. I'm sure it cuts down the profit margins astronomically just because of how much technology you got to put in there. And I remember asking Zap exactly why we didn't get those for little to no cost. And that was his reply. The technology costs so much. That was the price point that we had to go with in order to actually move these things. So I think yes. And we will see it evolve and change depending on the data that Nike collects from these type of releases with Artifact. That's another reason why this is so important. And this goes in kind of to answer of what Vince was saying about how the things that are done here to help build the awareness is exactly that. That's why CloneX LA does what it does to help build more awareness around the products that this project releases, and the community that's here does it in a specific manner because it helps people understand the storyline and the lore and everything that comes along within this project of merging worlds. And this is just another chapter of that said action. These sneakers being released is just another chapter in the grand story of merging worlds. And Nike is sitting back collecting all the information and the data that lets them know how to move in a different way. Because, like Tevington said, and he said so eloquently, Nike is looking to make this a stress free environment when it comes to their consumer. They don't want to be on spaces talking for hours. They don't want to know what FUD is. They don't want to even have to get into a Discord to understand the techno or the terminology that us degens are utilizing. They want to sign on, be under a certain mint number to receive the first access, get the first access, utilize these digital wearables or digital collectibles because they're no longer NFTs to that realm and navigate that world seamlessly and in such a easy created manner because they know all of this other extra shit leads to stuff like this. They see it happen all the time. If we integrate all of this information, people are going to be pissed off when something goes wrong, and then in Trillium Lace Engine and monoliths and all of that, like they like nah, they let Artifact be Artifact and execute those things. But Nike's going to be Nike and make it as seamless as possible, so they can just onboard as many people as they want who could jump in, create these designs, new designers, upcoming designers, figure out exactly who they are, who creates the heat, possibly signed into Nike if they continuously creating heat, release the digital without a physical to see how it performs. And then if it performs well and the percentages are there, release a physical and make a percentage off of that. It's just an easy executionable method, in my opinion. Could be 100% wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. That's
I
what
like
I'm.
that a lot. I mean, I guess like the cool thing I took from that is, and also from I forgot who was speaking before, is that effectively it's almost like like clones were like the beta testers, right? And like the almost like part of the R&D department, which is like a privilege, right? And if that's the case, that's amazing. I would love to see it explained like that, so that you know it becomes clear to everyone. I mean, again, I've held clones. I don't pay attention every day, but that's information that I think is important to spread and share if it is accurate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, think
that's
about it like this: if you've seen the Air movie, it's the same scenario being recreated in later years. Michael Jordan was the quote unquote beta tester for the Nike basketball division, right? This was a guy who had never played a game in the NBA, never dribbled a ball on the hardwood. Pause. That was major pause. And they bet everything, bet the house on him, right? Because they could see the potential that was there. The people who were paying attention to him up until the point of his career, which was at North Carolina, making the game winning shot. They knew exactly who he was, and they knew he had what it takes to get to the next level. It's the same point we see here with Artifact. It's the same situation. They didn't have, I guess, they didn't call him the beta tester, but essentially he was. They threw, I don't want to give everything, but they did everything they could to make sure they acquired this player and bet the house on him. Is if you think about the storyline, is almost eerily familiar to what we're dealing with here with Artifact and Nike. They're taking everything they got. They just outright say, yo, they got the juice. Buy them right now. Let's do what we got to do to make this happen. That's exactly what they did. And they are studying to make sure they're going to give them everything they need to get to the next level and seeing how they perform when they hit the floor. When
Dude,
they,
we're pre UNC Jordan, dude. That's
uh,
a
we
amazing
are
fact.
we are UNC Jordan. We're pre Chicago Bulls Jordan. We have yet to jump from the free throw line. We have yet
No,
to win.
we're facing the Pistons right now, and we're getting bodied with the FUD, and we just need our Scottie
Facts.
Pippen. And
Facts.
once we get our
We
Scottie
are.
Pippen, it's 6 straight championships.
It's
We
so
ain't
rap.
resting.
Thank you very much. What deep is coming with it today,
oh
bro? I don't know
man,
what it is with Coleman Trump, but he is hot.
I love
He is
all these
hot.
analogies.
But that's
I'm
a
not
fact.
that sick with it. I was just gonna add that everything they've said is on point, and the beta tester aspect of it is probably the most exciting part. But to maybe take it back a quick second and answer your question of like if somebody new is coming in and they're looking at these assets, like what makes the most sense, and I would say it really depends, right? Like if somebody's coming in because they're looking for the latest and greatest, and they're interested in more than just call it the physical item, then maybe Artifact makes sense. If they're more of a casual person that is interested in the shoes, they like the innovation to some extent, but they're not looking to spend. They're not fully bought in yet. They just want access to some cool exclusive shoes. I think that's really where that swoosh comes in, where you get some of that trickle down technology with the shoes and the design and a little bit of the new age way of doing business with that swoosh. And then as they get whoever that person is gets more familiar, the interest goes up, then it makes sense then to kind of quote unquote graduate to the more innovative and at the forefront that Artifact represents. But at the end of the day, ultimately, you really have to. I should say you. I look at this as Nike's essentially looking at the where the industry is going, how the world is moving, and it's about whether people realize it or not. It's Nike has been in business for how many years, right? And they're looking now for the next 50, 100 years. How do they stay relevant? How do they keep the brand going and growing and building? And we're moving towards a digital age, right? So what do you do? Exactly what Dre and Deep were talking about. You find, who you believe to be the most, the player with the most potential, and you bet on that team and bring them in and give them the resources that they need to achieve their full potential. knowing full well that if you are associated with them, that benefits your brand. And I think, again, purely from a business standpoint, that was a genius move, and that's what we're seeing now play out. And so, in the same way that Artifact is learning from Nike, and that's more the business aspect of it, right? Like, how do we run a real business and bring value to our consumers and our holders, collectors, whatever it might be? Nike has decades of knowledge around that. So, Artifact will gain that from them, which will make them better. But Nike doesn't know how to build like lore and like what degen wants and like where's this new space of web3 kind of going. So what do? You find a person that's been kind of leading the race to some extent, and that's been moving stuff faster than most people, right? They're willing to break things along the way and learn, like, build fast, fail fast, learn fast, right? Like, go through that cycle of iteration as quickly as possible. And that's really where Artifact shined. Now, we like it sometimes we don't like it, but they, while everybody else was kind of being cautious, right? Like, we hear other collections are like, yeah, they're doing stuff, but the reality is, like, this past year, most people weren't doing much because, one, they didn't have the resources potentially. Two, they didn't really know how long this bear market, nobody knows how long the bear market's going to last. So do you really want to go and take all these chances? And if you take it one step further, and I know I'm getting long-winded here, there's still, outside of our little bubble here, there's what the regulatory environment is doing around blockchain and all of these collections. Where do they fall into? And that's, again, where the experience of a larger corporation comes in. So I think, long way to say, if somebody's coming in and they just want cool shoes with the latest tech, probably start with that swoosh. They'll naturally progress and find their way into Artifact, because once you start hearing about that swoosh and care about the NFC chip and what goes in there and why it's there and all that, you'll naturally kind of find your way to Artifact. Or you might be like, you know what, I really don't need all that. I'm just happy with buying the cool shoes as they release, and that's what it is.
I wasn't gonna follow up, but I think Tamington knocked that out the park.
Yeah, like when it comes to, like, okay, the way that I look at this space being in tech, when you look at startups, right, they get cash flow and they're not making profit, and they keep getting VC funding. That's how they survive. When you look at the Web3 space, it's more profit driven, and that's in tech. There's like incubators, right, where you go into an innovative space. So like what what you guys are talking about hits the nail right on the head, where it's like this is what the innovation is for the next stage, right? A company like Nike can't just go out and do it and put their name on it directly. Especially in Web3, you see how like the average person even thinks about NFTs or even crypto, right? Nike doesn't like bad PR, and so Artifact is taking all it is taking all the risks for Nike, right? And they don't need to worry about cash flow either. They're the funding is there, you know what I mean? And you're seeing that with the shoes and them collect. It's not like, oh, it's not like Adidas, like, I'm not trying to FUD or anything, but I was part of the Adidas NFT, and like look how fast CloneX has been driving innovation. You're gonna make mistakes along the way. That's evident, but that's what comes with taking risk, right? And I think like when you scope out, uh, the thing is the space moves so fast. Like 1 week feels like a month sometimes, right? And if you think about it, like someone said today, it's been 9 months only, and like 9 months, bro, like some of these like 9 months is nothing. You know what I mean? People's lives change in 9 months, right? People can become millionaires in 9 months. Like, um, 9 months is like such a short period of time. Like, gives us like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Like, see where it's gonna be in the future. We're gonna look back and like we're gonna be like, damn, we were really part of this. We were actually early in this. It's like, you know how some people, they're like, I was like you see these people in the .com bubble. Yo, I could have bought this, man. I regret it. I could have invested in Xerox. I could have been an investor in Apple. Man, I would have been made so much money. This and that. I'm not giving financial advice, but this is like kind of the same sentiment, right? Even with Ethereum, when I started in cryptocurrency and like, bro, I was arguing with people left and right about it because people just didn't understand it. And then it pumps, and I was like, yeah, I'm on top of the moon. But then that shit, 2018 crashed like crazy, and people were like, yo, you're crazy. Like, this shit isn't working. Like, the sentiment is all the way at the bottom. And like, those people are the same people that bought in 2020, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just the same sentiment that I'm seeing over and over. And like that's what makes me bullish too, isn't like it's just not any project either. Like during this bear market, it's the fact that like you, all of you people and other people are showing up constantly every single day, and they also have the same value that they see in this project, and they're creating the same value, whether it's alone or together, collaborating, and yeah, if you, it's easy to see that during the bull market, right? But building during the bear, I remember when the bear first started, the sentiment, everyone's like, "Yo, you got to build now, build during the bear." You know what I mean? And it's happening, and I think we just need some patience. And um, plants don't grow in a day, right? Like Rome wasn't built in a day either. Like you got to water those plants and let them bloom, and you reap the fruits later. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'll quick add, and Vaughn, I know you have your hand up. I'll let you go, but I think every project right now, whether it's Suzuki, Yuga, Doodles, all of those projects that kind of actually not too long ago, I can't remember. I think it was the Doodles collection where the owner was like, you know what, like we're not building, we're not going to cater, and maybe he got roasted for that to the flippers to some extent. I'm paraphrasing, but we're trying to put together like a real business for the long term. Like all of these projects that are building right now and pushing through and have figured out a way to generate revenue that's not solely reliant on royalties are really the ones that are going to stand the test of time. And what's cool about the silver lining in all of this, Ilan pointed to it earlier, but besides the fact that you're kind of realizing who's really in the people aspect of it, like who's really here, but you're also seeing which one of these collections, these projects are truly going to turn into businesses long term, right? Because these are all tiny startups, um, and not all of them will make it. Like just like it's not realistic for every single cryptocurrency that we have that were created to all make it. As 5-10 years later, only some of them are going to stick around, and as time goes on, it's going to consolidate even further, and you're going to essentially see a flight to quality, right? And only, I don't even know what the number is going to be necessarily, but like Yuga for sure is going to be around, right? They're building a freaking game like with technology, and again, you have to go back to what is the tech behind some of this stuff. They're building like they're bringing forth technology that's never been done before. Artifact arguably is merging different verticals into one and gamifying fashion. Again, has not been done before. Azuki has, a strong ass community with a bunch of creators. They're given the IP, and like the people are, whether it's the art side of it or the business side of it, same thing. People are taking their IP and building businesses. And I don't know a ton about Azuki, but what I do know from just observing and being a bean holder for a little bit there is they're really focused on getting people to build with their IP, because again, if the individual is doing well, it ultimately goes back to the bigger picture, which is the Azuki project. So all tides, or how does it go? Like this tide, right, makes all the boats rise, or whatever, however you say it, and that's what I'm seeing that they truly aspire to, and push forward. So I think as long as people are here and they're building, um, like things things will advance, and that's what we're seeing right now. Like, when you step back and you look from the 10,000 foot view, it makes it a lot easier to see, oh, that's the full picture. Like, I get it now. But when you're focused on the day-to-day happenings, it's really easy to get sidetracked. And sorry, Vaughn, I'm going long. I'm going to shut up now. You have your hand up, so you go ahead. This was meant to be short and sweet, and I'm sitting here and going on forever. So my bad. Go ahead.
Classic. What's up, Vonso?
I'm not gonna lie, I actually totally forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
See that
I
I
see my
went so
hand.
long.
Have you yeah,
My
bro,
bad.
he'll cut your hand. He'll cut your hand and then go on like a 15-minute rant and then go, "Oh, I'm going too long. Go ahead, Vonso."
Right.
It's so like it's like who he is, and we love Tevi. But it's funny, he's surprised every time he does it. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm going too long.
You
Didn't
know
mean
what?
to do
You
that."
He's
surprised me
passionate.
too every time. Like I don't know what's about to happen. Like, oh shit, he did
He
go.
always says it. He starts it off with, "This will be really quick," and
Real fast, real fast. But no,
this will be.
this is what I say. I was in a meeting earlier today, with someone who's just now understanding a Web 2 dude, right? And he's understanding NFTs and navigating full throttle in Web 3 now. But I had met him before I moved out to LA because I moved out. I'm about to do a long Tevi story, but I came out to LA in summer of 21 and rented a house in the hills just to live out here for a month to see what it would be like to feel the energy out here. And I met him then, and we will link up every so often, just to catch up and see where things are headed and see if we can join together and do things. But I met up with him again today, and I met up with him last year, and I told him about NFTs and what I was doing, and it was just like no interest, right? Like he kind of grasped it, but he kind of didn't because it was a lot at the time. I met up with him today, and he was like, "Yo, I'm fully integrated. I totally understand what you're saying. You are absolutely correct. The technology is here. The future is here. I'm trying to tell all of my Web 2 people, all of this stuff is going to happen. They need to be on board." And he was asking about CloneXLA and Artifact and all of the above. And I told him this is like the opportunity to be in the garage when Steve Jobs was building Apple. This is the same opportunity that you have to be next to Jeff Bezos when he's coming up talking about Amazon is going to be a book website, right? Like we are in the trenches in the very beginning of it all, the foundation of it all. And what we do say and move here is increasing or decreasing the building of the foundation. You putting your moral fibers into this project at this time. And if you look at it that way, you get motivated to continuously build. Like I don't even pay attention to the floor price, right? When I see it, it's just like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I saw it when it was up before, and hell yeah, it felt good. But now it's like I understand the process of it all, and I know I have the conviction of where it's going. I just know the opportunity here to help build these things up. If I see a gap, I look to fill the gap. I do whatever I got to do, especially if it's in my wheelhouse to fill that gap, right? Like I think it's a huge gap when it comes to building the awareness of the products that have been created within this project. So I do whatever I can do to build the awareness. I go out and actively seek relationships, business, or whatever to help build and fulfill these gaps, coming up with ideas to continuously build the awareness within the community and outside the community to help build the gaps because I know that's what I'm good at. I've done it before with multiple other people and multiple other businesses. I've done it before for myself for damn near my entire life. So I understand that's the strength. And that's just when you believe in something, that's what you do. If you in a relationship with somebody, you work on that relationship. You believe in that other person, you do whatever you got to do to make that relationship work. And that's where we are. So yes and no. For price matter, yes and no. The shoes will be a next level execution, yes, regardless. But is the awareness at a place where other people outside of our ecosystem can even digest what's happening here? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think so. Can it be better? Yes. How can it be better? I'm instituting and doing everything I can to make it better, right? And that's even part of sitting here and having these conversations with you guys day in and day out. And that's why whenever somebody brings up streetwear fashion specific point, I jump in. Yep, let's run with it, right? I'd be on Thread Guys spaces, I'll be on Leap spaces, I'll be on anyone spaces. Somebody bring it up, I'm there. That's honestly how I even started talking to Justin. We're on Leap Spaces, and he brought up the point, and we just ran with this joint like forever. So that I say that to say, if you are
No,
someone
no,
who
no, no, no,
believes,
no. You told me about the clot Nikes before that. That
right?
was the intro. You told, and you didn't even know I got them based on your photo and all
See,
that.
no, that's the truth. That's the truth. And then we started talking about dot swoosh, and I sent Leap a dot swoosh access code to get him onboarded into
Before
this.
I got swoosh. That's right.
Yeah.
Leap got it.
See,
Leap frogged me. Yeah.
yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that's where I'm at. That's what I do, right? And like any other relationship in life, if you believe in someone else and you have something that you can do to make that relationship better, you do it. And that's where we are. So I don't want to pull a Tebbington and get too long winded, but yeah, we are all here doing the same thing based on the same execution, looking for the same result, which is helping to build something that we are passionate about, reach the levels that we know it can reach. Deep, what's cracking?
I almost forgot what I was gonna say, but I remembered. But basically, pause on the filling the gaps. You forgot to say pause there. That's one
No, I'm
thing.
not, because I don't have to be pause worthy. I can go, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on where your mind is going. So maybe you should think about what you're thinking about.
Also, when you said floors, right? Like I look at the floors, but not for the price. Like I'm looking at the floors to see what's out there, what's clean, to see if I really want another one. You know what I mean? I look at like activity too. I see people sniping like rares. People are sniping rares, and when people snipe rares, that means that they like believe in the project. And also sometimes like in this space, like some people post stuff, and I'm guilty of it too. Like I'll like something, I don't even read the full thing. I'll read the title, but like markets can get shifted just from one post, right? And that's just a one that's a small percentage of people. And there are like, for example, one of my friends, he holds so many more assets than I do. He holds like Azuki, art, all the artifact stuff. um he used to have a mutant and stuff, but he never tweets ever. And there are a ton of people like that that believe in these projects and stuff like that, but then there are people on the timeline speaking for everyone, right? And can be an echo chamber. And yeah, it can be frustrating for sure. So I think it's good to be active if you have an opinion, and have a positive influence on your opinion. And especially if you put money into it, right? And it's an investment for you, then yeah. And I think this is a great space to do that. Like bad take. Like I don't like I said, I say this all the time. Like I never was on a space before, and now I'm on this shit every day. From like one random day I bought a clone. Like I don't even know what the hell happened, bro. It's like you guys psyops me or something. I don't know. I wake up like, man, like today in the morning I woke up, went for a run, worked, and then my friend's like, "Yo, you want to go hit up the market?" I'm like, "Nah, bad takes on today. I gotta speak on bad take." You know what I mean?
That's right, baby. Conviction is real. No, it's all truth, man. I feel the same way. I'm in this bitch every day with you. So I totally feel you.
I show up when I can, but I hope you guys still love me. Like I try to show up as much as I can, support the fam. I do really love it here, though. I love everybody that shows up, but I can assure you that that bad take's going to zero. What's up, Kiro?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people think like because I have one clone that I keep saying I'm not gonna sell, I don't buy and sell fucking clones. They're an asset, and in the reality of it all, there are certain clones that I'm looking at to purchase, to keep, that I like because I like art, and like usually when I buy art, I don't sell it or whatever. I think just the floor price is important when it needs to be important. I think that's the major takeaway. If somebody is in like an overexposed position, the floor price is always going to be important, right? So
Yeah, I think the only thing I will add to that, Kiro, I think that makes sense, is one position doesn't take away from the other, right? Like you can have your forever clones that you're not gonna sell and have extras that you're planning to flip for a profit. And so neither one is wrong. I think and that's where it depends, right? But everybody has a different strategy. But I think the commonality of what everybody has, or most people have here, um, is we all believe in a long-term vision, and we all see where this could be going, and this is likely going. And so, at the very least, even if you were to sell a bunch today, most of us would keep at least one clone for the access and the ticket on the ride to wherever it is we're going, right? Because you don't want to miss out on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm the truth be told, these two clones that I hold today are not my first two clones. Like this is clone number 4 that I'm showing right now. That's my PFP. And the very first clone I bought was literally because I just wanted to be in the collection. I just picked up whatever was the cheapest at the time, which is insane when you consider that that was super expensive. Cost me over 10 ETH. Um, and then I ended up selling that clone so that I could buy the next one that looked a little bit closer to what I wanted. That was the robot that I had, for a little while there. And then when the opportunity came to actually hold or buy my forever clone, which is the demon that I have, yeah, I sold that and picked up what I wanted. And then floor went down. And yeah, floor matters because the lower it goes, the easier it is for people to buy in and get what they want. I've never dreamed of having a Murakami drip clone. I'm like, those were way too expensive, way too out of reach. And I bought this clone now for a fraction of what it was way back in the day. So the amount of ETH that I spent on the very first clone that I bought is more combined than the two clones that I hold today. And these are probably two clones that I don't think I'll let go. And the main reason for that is because they provide me access to a Murakami exclusive drip. Like, yeah, I'm going to be buying this stuff as a consumer because Murakami looks great and my daughter loves it. I love it. I'm going to wear it. And my demon is literally my Web3 identity. That's my social presence. And when I think about the business aspect of things, that clone is more palatable in a corporate world, and I can use it that way. I can, I can use that image on more than one platform. So it really comes down to what you're trying to do with these assets. Do you want to augment a brand that you already have? Do you want to build a brand that you don't have today? And eventually, if this, goes where we all think it goes, holding multiple clones to allow you to take some profit and make some money back makes sense. So again, it's not one dimensional, and one does not exclude the other. I think if you don't have a plan, then that's where people again get overexposed. They get, confused. They don't really know what they want to do, and they give into FUD. If you have conviction, no one can tell you otherwise. Like, exactly where you're going. Like if you see the end goal, you're just like a river moving around the rocks, and that's all it is. Like now, no one can take that away from you.
yeah, I could agree with that. Totally, man. And you see, like the thing is to, like I don't mean to say this in a weird way, but like I don't believe that there's like floors to shit. It's just aesthetically. I only pick things I like. I don't care how much it's gonna cost because I want it for myself. I'm selfish. It's like my bean. People are like, oh, you could have just got. No, I wanted the fucking lightning eyes, the fucking bucket hat, and the goddamn key, and that's all I wanted. They're like, oh, you could paid 1.3 for the bean. So then you go pay 1.3 for the bean. I buy what I buy, and you fucking deal with it. It's just like I have my eyes on some clones, and like I keep putting fucking offers, and I'm just testing the waters to see if this guy actually even looks at his fucking wallet to see if he'll actually sell. But one day I'm probably just gonna have to like man up and get the proper amount of ETH together and just purchase, because like somebody has my forever clone. This is one of my forever clones, but I want a few of them. Like I want like 3 or 4 of them. It's like the spirit. Like I'm obsessed with this one spirit Azuki. I'm gonna get it. And then there's a couple female Azukis I'm obsessed with. I'm gonna buy those as well. It's just I think in this space we don't understand other people's risk tolerance because we all live like different lifestyles, right? So it's really hard. Like I just been thinking about it for a while. It's really hard for me to tell somebody that the floor doesn't matter now. Now that I realize, like, like financial circumstance and just conviction really are the two most important things, right? And we don't know, like, and I'm not talking about the people that put on the King of Clone and write the fucking dumb articles. Those people are just crazy people. But like, I mean, like, that's why I never sell shame or anything, because it's just like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yo, Kiro, is it true that you put bids on Cass's clone? You used to put bids on his clone all the time? You used to try to buy Cass's clone? Okay.
Yep.
Shout out Cass.
Cass is a diamond hander.
Was it before or after you realized it didn't have eyebrows on it?
I was just gonna say that.
Say that I
Oh,
have
Dave, you don't
eyebrows.
steal my jokes,
These
bro.
might be tattooed on. Who's to say I have eyebrows?
Shout out, like,
I hope y'all flood it down to 1 ETH so I can get some more. To be honest, like
Has it
shit.
dropped? Like I'm so low on ETH right now that's like disposable that I would frankly love. I was telling Compound earlier actually. I'm like my problem right now is I don't have enough disposable ETH to buy more. And if you honestly like, have you looked at some of the DNAs that are available right now? Like there's a
deep.
I thought I was muted, my bad.
Don't
No,
don't
you have
even
your
bring it
hand
up.
up.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up, Tevy. You're gonna ruin it. Don't even do it.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it because somebody in this group has to find a way to it. Where's Elle's right there? Maybe she's sleeping. I think she might just be in the crowd. But there is maybe I won't do it. All I'm gonna say
Don't do
is
it.
there's undeads roaming the streets at all types of the day, all times of the day. So yeah,
Oh. Nah, man. I'm trying to get another one. I had to. I sold one of them. Bought hella sneakers like a fucking Degen. I can't help but do that. And now I done priced myself out of grabbing the other ones I want to grab. So now I'm like, damn, do I sell my sneaks and grab it? And it's like, I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at, and I know you're gonna sell, almost potentially shame me for this, but I was looking
Deep.
at my reptile sneakers and my MK drip, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I could sell that, add some ETH, and I could pick up another clone. But thankfully, my friend who's not in the crowd, and he's definitely one of those people that holds clone. It's not super active, but you really can beat his conviction. Like the man is here forever. He's the one who got me into the ecosystem. He was like, "Nah, bro, you don't want to do that. It's like, just wait, and pick up something that you actually want." Because at the end of the day, right? I think I don't know if it was Kurt who was saying this earlier, but yeah, buy what you want. And if you're gonna sell it later, that's cool too. But if you buy what you want and things go south, and you're not overexposed, you'll hold on to that clone or whatever the asset is for the long term, right? And you'll wait it out, and it's fine. It's when you're picking up something literally because you're like, you know what, I can make a quick buck on this, and then the market decides that it's gonna do whatever it wants to do, and or some fodder comes out and they have some kind of clout, they throw out some thread that's like super long, but people will read it anyways. They get to the end and they're like, you know what? That made sense.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna FUD the shit out of clones tomorrow.
What?
Wait.
You
We
know
got to
what's
go to
super
Deep.
long?
His hands
You
are
know
up.
what's
Deep
super
doesn't
long?
have his hand
My
up.
hands are up.
He's had it up for the whole time you were talking.
No, he
He
didn't.
had it up before you were talking.
Really?
I did.
Are
I
you
did.
serious?
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
why I was laughing.
Oh snap!
Okay, are you gonna keep talking? No, I had my mic unmuted too by mistake, and I sighed, and then Compound heard it. But I got some great alpha for you guys. I realized Compound he wasn't lying this whole time. I got rugged earlier, and like I
Oh
uh,
my gosh! Don't
I
start
pulled
this.
I pulled the screen up and back down, and it unrugged me. I think you guys are just bad users. You know what I mean? Like, you
Man.
guys don't follow instructions properly. You know, it might be like an age thing, honestly.
Oh my god! Now he want to do that. All right.
Yo, I've
Also,
spent I've
because yeah,
spent
he said earlier, maybe it's an age thing, you know.
A
No,
touche, my friend. I like that one. Touche.
I'll just say, guys,
also,
I've spent. Oh, go ahead, dude.
also, last thing. This is more on a serious note, but it's like the thing is with NFTs, it's like you're double leveraging, right? Because you're leveraging off of the NFT price going up or down, and then you're leveraging off of the cryptocurrency going up or down. So like when both are going down, you're just 2x leveraging like the price going down and the opposite. But yeah, so
Yo,
double
brother.
hurt and double wins. But I just want to keep talking because like
No. Justin's got his hand up. This market's irrational. Buying NFTs is completely irrational. ETH goes up, the NFT price goes down. ETH goes down, NFT price also goes down. Nothing makes sense. I've been in this space doing bad take for 3 months now, since January 2nd or 3rd with Dre Millie, and we've had nothing, all different PFPs in here, all different people trying to grow, build, and learn together. And this was the first night that people have argued about floor price. And it was just wild to me, because this has been one of the most creative spaces, and just people coming in here with ideas on how to better themselves, better their projects, better the space in general. And I think that maybe talking about floors is important, but it was like super, I don't know. It's also, goes against kind of everything we've ever really done in here. So it was a good conversation though. What's up, Justin?
Yeah, I just wanted to. I heard Kuro say the FUD word, and I just wanted to commend Kuro on this. I've been observing for a while. I've never seen someone combine like this uncanny, I think unparalleled skill set to both FUD and be bullish about the same exact project at the same exact time. I have no idea how he does it. Like I hear it almost every night, and I still can't logically understand like what the formula is. But he figured something out that none of us have.
I agree. He's a master at his
Floor
craft.
price goes down, holder count goes up. I shut up for 2 weeks while I go on vacation. Floor price goes back up. That's the plan.
He calls it engagement terrorism. We like a little bit of psyop, Justin. Like we do it a lot here in Bad Take. It's like it's counterintuitive, but it's just kind of way how meme culture works, and just this space works in general. And Kuro is honestly a master at it.
That's a fact.
When he FUDs his bags, for some reason you go, shit, I'm gonna actually check that out. That sounds kind of cool. And we've all been practicing it as well. But nobody's on Kuro's level, I'll be honest, because he's on every stage and he's mastered the art of getting attention. It's the attention economy, right? So he's mastered the art of getting people to click on his profile and go, what the fuck is that thing? That thing's cool. What is that? Oh, CloneX. Oh, and it kind of drives them to this space. So shout out Kuro.
I love the Kiro shit post today. He was going off with the shit post. I love to see that.
Bro, he searched the word shitpost from his profile, and he posted every time he said the word shitpost into the chat. It was like 15 times that he's talked about shitposting over the last 3 years. That's what you were seeing. Oh shit! All right, guys, give me another topic. Where's all the passion at now? We're all just
Ceilings.
tired,
Since
huh?
we were talking about floors, let's go to ceilings and then walls. I'm down to talk about all types of carpentry.
No,
I
carpentry
want to
talk.
talk about the Murakami drip, that the picture that was released today. Like I know we all saw that.
Oh yeah, we waiting on the actual lookbook tomorrow.
You know my favorite comment from the whole thing? There's this one guy who started off his first sentence with some like, "Bro, the socks are way overkill, but I can't wait for them to get it," because he had the socks and the shoes together. Like he started off by saying, "Yo, the socks are overkill together, but I can't wait for mine to come." And I just had to agree. I didn't comment anything, but I was like, "Yeah, I ain't wearing the socks."
I'm
I wear the socks.
100% wearing the socks. Like
Yeah, I'm definitely wearing
initially,
the
I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'll even wear the shoes. I just want to have them for the art. And then today, though, when I saw the shoes and the socks together, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna wear it to my corporate job, and all of my engineers that report through me are gonna be like, damn, Bossman is fashionable as hell, but they're not gonna realize that it's because I've been in this space talking to Dre and y'all. Actually, I'll
Hey,
give it to Dre primarily. That
hey.
Yo,
yeah, yeah.
Yo, Tubby,
That's
can
when
you
you
hire me?
take them on the walks, Tevington. You got to take them on the walks when you're studying like that. They got to see that those
Oh,
feet in action.
we're gonna have walking one-on-ones. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna walk around the entire
Yo, can you
campus.
hire me as well?
I,
I promise I won't interrupt you.
you definitely will. And it's not gonna be a
Hey,
good look. It's not gonna be a
just
good
fire
look.
them afterward.
Tevy, what if one of your employees asked to hold your hand while you guys go on your one-on-one walks? Like,
Uh,
what are you supposed to say?
hell to the
Interlock your
no.
fingers.
Is that kind of breaks like the fraternization rules, right? Like,
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Why not? Why can't you do that? You can't be a
yeah.
friend holding the hand, interlocking fingers. Thank you for being
HR.
a friend.
See, it's not a black and white answer, Tevy. There are
No, it's
cultures
a
where
hundred
men hold
percent black and
hands,
white.
bro.
I've made it
Well,
this
maybe in
long,
your culture, but not in others.
like 20,
I'm from the culture of love.
18,
Yo,
18
Tubby.
years in the corporate world. I have never seen the HR department. And I'm not trying to mess that up. I told somebody that actually a week or two ago, and they looked at me. They're like, "What? How did?" I'm like, "Man, there's a few things you just don't do." And holding hands while you're doing walking one-on-ones is one of them. You do not gaze in the eyes of your team members and hold their hands. If you don't do that, then you stay out of HR. That's real talk.
Walking
Yo,
one-on-ones in
Tevy.
the first place is just wild.
Yo, Tevy. Compound gave me some alpha yesterday, and like, basically, I'm an ex-engineer at Twitter. Yeah, you can ask their HR department, and you can hire me. You know.
Oh yeah, bro. I told them the alpha. When Circuit City was shutting down near the last recession, a lot of people were using Circuit City as like job reference, right? Because their HR department was gone, and you couldn't really call them and just kind of confirm whether or not they worked there. So Circuit City was like the big corporate company. Like I was a floor manager at Circuit City, and you could put that on your resume, and they can't confirm. But people have been testing it lately, and Twitter's HR department has completely fallen apart since Elon's taken over. And they've asked for references and tried to call and confirm, and like the HR department just never replies. So the new alpha is just saying you work for Twitter because it's not like your new job can confirm or deny it anyway. Confirm it anyways.
Yeah,
So,
There's
so
no HR
first
department,
off,
bro.
like I can't remember the last time I heard anyone mention Circuit City. So I feel like you have to be of a certain generation and a certain age group to remember Circuit City. Number one.
Yeah, this was after
I
2008,
remember
the last
Circus City.
recession.
I remember Circuit City because I have 20 years of experience at Twitter, and even though I graduated in 2018, I've been there for 20 years. Yeah.
I went from a floor manager at Circuit City to a product manager at Twitter. Yeah, so let me know. I can shoot my resume to anybody
Yeah,
that
I
needs
would
it.
I would hire you,
No
Compound.
problem.
I feel like you're trustworthy.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Got
but I
whoa,
have
whoa,
to.
whoa! What about me?
got
What
you.
about me? I got things done. You know, I'll rile people up and make it competitive. You know, like yo, your code, like your pull request today wasn't that great. You know, like that's what Compound was saying, and I'll do the same thing, inverse it, and then they'll get like real competitive with each other. You know what I mean? And build the next rug project or whatever you do.
I can build a team at your company. I can do walking one-on-ones. I can hold hands. I
He
can
can
build a
hold
strong,
spaces.
strong team.
I feel like you would be good for like team building exercises. I feel like you would be good at that. Getting
I
people
appreciate
together.
that. Thank you.
Well, I was talking to Compound Deep, but I think you'd do okay too. I'm just messing with you. I need to go to bed. Anyways, good chat. Sorry,
Does anybody want to interrupt Tevi while he's
sorry, I got
saying
heated
heading
earlier.
to bed?
I don't even know.
Yeah, you were off the
I
chain,
was trying
Tevi.
really hard to interrupt. My fingers are greasy from eating and almost missed the opportunity. I just wanted to shout out the turtle in Compound's backyard doing work and really representing the farm life and vegetarianism of this space. And yeah, but tell us more about that.
Yeah, so this is that point in the night where we talk about our topic at the top, our first topic, farm life. When we'll go into vegetarianism, Dre, and then Bollywood dance. I'm going to take that one away, professional there. But yeah, farm life. Got some land down here in California and a lot of weeds that I haven't been keeping up on. It's weird, like when you're doing spaces all the time and you're always on Twitter, the overgrowth on your property can just get wild, man. And I've really neglected it. So I got a lawnmower and I put the lawnmower in the comments. I'm not really big on using gasoline and stuff. I like natural lawnmowers and weed eaters. So
How much do you pay him,
Why
by the
is
way?
that?
yeah, it's just not good for the environment. I like more natural ways of keeping weeds down. So yeah, if you look at the top, I pinned it at the top.
Hey, this man drives a huge diesel truck that pulls around a trailer, but he doesn't like gasoline for his weed cutting because it's not good for the
Listen.
planet.
If there's a natural way to do it, like I pinned to the top, um,
You didn't have to
Flash,
throw him under the truck, bro.
Flash, my tortoise will take care. He takes care of all the weeds for me. Got to let him loose, and he'll just start eating. So yeah, and I've been considering getting goats, and for some reason, Lone Architect knows way too much about goats. He was in the chat, like schooling me up on getting goats, and mainly it's just because the tortoise can't eat enough weeds, and I think I need some goats, and I really want to embrace this whole farm life thing. So
You got enough goats in the bad take group chat, man. I wonder how many other goats you need.
Also,
like,
like, if you
yo,
drive a gas guzzling car and you live in California, do people ever FUD you? Like, in real life, do they ever, like, yo, you gotta change, like, you're driving a floor truck that's, um,
No, no, we balance it out. We get the electric, and then we have our gas guzzler. So
Fact.
we're neutral.
if
That's
you
a
We're
fact.
guys if you guys want to really look some crazy stuff up, go look up who produces about 90% of the United States agriculture, and you'll see what state it comes from. And you'll see that there are a lot of trucks here, a lot of trailers, a
Yeah,
lot of horses, a lot of cattle. There's a lot of that shit.
yeah.
Obviously, we have the big cities, but I do not live near a big city. I can assure you. I live an hour north of San Diego and about 2 hours south of LA. So I'm in this little pocket in between them both where it's very like, a lot more rural. It's great, man. Everybody has a truck. Everybody around me has land and trailers, and you can't have property without a truck to pull a trailer or to like move your animals. Like it's just a standard. But when I go to the city with my RV, yeah, I went up to LA for NFT LA with the RV, and yeah, dude, like it was pretty interesting pulling an RV through LA.
yo, so,
It was,
like, have I been there in GTA 5, the game? Like, where,
Bro,
like, your area?
yo, so I jumped on GTA 5 because I feel like I have as well. And it's not like a one-to-one match. It's certain areas that's like meshed together, but it looks like you have been here. You'll drive around LA, a certain parts, be like, yo, I've been here. I know I ran up on somebody on this block before. And you probably have, but like especially by the Beverly Center, it looks like the Beverly Center, but then it's like a mesh of like Pasadena with the Beverly Center. Like it's kind of weird, but no. So yes and no. Again, that's the question. I guess that's the answer for every question tonight. Yes and no. So
nah, dude, I need an absolute answer, no in between. Fuck
yeah,
that. I want a no
yes.
yes
The
or no.
in between is and because it's yes and no.
Got it.
Yo,
No, I
that's
would say
actually dope. That's dope because, like, if they made a map on Toronto, you just have like one block and the rest is just like snow, and yeah.
Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Everybody forgot what
GTA.
this is.
Sorry.
Nah, it was something before that. It had something to do with something important.
Yes and no.
So while you're thinking about it, I'm just gonna jump in because I know you're thinking, and I want to give you some time. But
Give me
I got
some.
a question for Compound because I'm usually not on this late. Um, like usually I'm done about half an hour before now. So I'm trying to figure out if that tortoise that you have posted up there is for real or if you're just trolling us or me specifically, because I'm sure everybody else is on the ball and is here this late and knows what's going on. But I can't tell if that's a real thing. Like, and how did you get one that big to begin with, if you truly have it? Um, yeah,
That is a big tortoise. I was wondering the same thing, but I just let it go.
nah, I
Bro
can't
said
let it
if
go.
you truly have it. Where do you live, Tevi?
Midwest Minnesota,
In the city, like in Minneapolis?
not a suburbs. So
Oh, in a
yeah,
suburb.
How was that still Midwest? Like, how's the Midwest
I
so
was in
damn
the sub.
big?
Yo, bro, anything between California
In New
and
York.
North Carolina, Virginia, New York, the other coast, that's the Midwest, bro.
Midwest.
Yeah. As soon as I leave, start driving away from the beach, yeah, you just start calling it the Midwest. There's parts of California I call the Midwest, dude.
No, this is what I was gonna say. We have 22 retweets. Is that the most retweets we ever had in Bad Take?
One time we got to 100 once, bro.
What?
Yeah, we had like almost like 200 people in here though. We had someone came in and it was a very controversial night. But we got up to like 90 retweets, I thought.
Damn. I
Who
thought we
came in?
Kiro,
said
you
that.
remember that? Kiro, your hands up. Wait, I got to answer Tevi's question after Kiro goes. Can't.
Oh, I was gonna ask, how does that whole thing where clones can get dot swooshes work?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I already had it by the time I did,
They
but if
sent
anybody
out
else knows.
sent out an email. I don't know if it was for a certain amount of time though that you had to redeem it. I don't think so. But they sent out an email specifically for clones to be able to utilize the access codes. I do know from the alpha that
Oh,
was
those
there.
same access codes that wouldn't let me get it in Canada.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
Uh,
But it was a guy that I met in Utah. His wife. Well, maybe I shouldn't give the backstory, but we received some alpha saying that if you had a lower number mint for the dot swoosh. Sorry, I'm pouring water for tea, man. That's not me like peeing or something like that. Just for y'all to know. If you had a lower number mint for dot swoosh, you received the airdrop first. That's one thing that he dropped off to us when we was there. And he was like just willingly throwing out alpha, like, yeah, oh, if you got a low number between 1 and 500,000, I think either said 200,000 or 500,000. I can't remember. He was like, you're gonna get the first airdrop first, and you'll get it sent to you, and you'll be part of the first wave. And I'm like, oh, word. And I'm sitting over just taking out notes. It's like, yeah, and if you do this, you got to make sure that this is gonna happen too, because they're gonna make sure they come in and do this and do that. So yeah, I'm excited for that because that's this week. I think that's how that drop is happening this week for the two boxes. I don't know if anybody paid attention to that or that's over other people's heads, but keep your eyes open. That makes sense. Oh, wait. Before we do that, I got some announcements too. So we have an Azuki um, Spaces artifact for Bad Take Azuki Spaces on Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we are doing another Sneakers Soapbox Spaces Friday at noon, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you check those out. And if you in LA, we're planning to do another CloneX LA event here soon before the end of the month. Something dope, a dope experience for the clones. I don't want to put too much out there, but just keep your ears open and your schedule clear if you want to join us, because it's going to be a crowd participation type of situation. So yeah, Tevin, go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna.
Wait, sorry. Just one quick question on that. You said end of this month. Isn't the Japan event like at the end of this month?
No, I said before the end of this month. So it's going to be anytime between, what's today, the 10th? Anytime between April 11th and April 30th. we aiming for that to see if we can get something done. Um, and yeah, that's it for today's announcements.
Tevington, I took it down from the top. I didn't want to front run Sneaker Soapbox, but I put another comment. Yeah, bro, his name is Flash. Um, he's a tortoise. He's massive. He's at least 30 plus years old. When I bought this property, this house, uh, he was already here, and I really liked him. And so when I put an offer on the house, I had them include the tortoise. Like I said, put an offer on the house, and I wanted the tortoise to stay. Right, this is his home, and they were moving into an apartment anyways. So he already had like a house and a whole like area of the property that's his. He's got a big old place. I actually just rebuilt his house before this winter, the rainy season. Like I built him a whole new house and a roof, and he lives pretty good, dude. But yeah, he's real, and it's warm pretty much all year around here. So he just cruises out in the sun. Sometimes I'll bring him out and let him just eat all the natural like green around the property. But yeah, actually, so my name Compound actually comes from my property, dude. We call it the Compound, and my last name starts with a K, so I spelled it with a K. So that's the story behind my name. It has nothing to do with finance or compounding anything, because Lord knows I don't know any of that shit. But
Compound cake. That's probably the most fire story I've heard on this space. That you got a pet turtle that's damn near 30 years old that you got a house for.
yeah, bro. So
That's insane. Like as you were telling it, I'm like,
His name is Flash.
like I'm like, yeah, he's laughing. So I'm like, is he messing with me still, or is this for real? And then as you're talking, I'm like, I think he's for real. And I'm like, that's a pretty cool story. Like you, you got a 30-year-old tortoise. Like no,
go look. I have the Animus egg that Free Minded printed that I brought back from Miami. I put it on top of his shell, and you kind of give you an idea of how huge he is. The Animus egg looks like it's tiny. It's in the comments. And yeah, he's huge, bro. I got videos. They just don't go on Twitter well. But yeah, dude. So
He's older than me, bro.
he's probably in his 40s. Honestly, man. They had him for 20 years when they lived here, who I bought the house from. Um, 20 years, and he was already big. They said like he didn't grow much more, so he was already full grown when they got him 20 years. 22 years ago now. So he's near 40 almost.
No,
But
I think you
I,
can
I
count the rings or whatever
I don't mess with
yeah,
to
turtles.
figure out the.
I
he's like a
don't mess
tree.
with turtles, bro. Half of my finger is almost
What did
bitten
the turtle
off,
do to you, bro?
bro.
Are you
Wait,
scared of
wait,
Bro,
Teenage
wait.
Mutant Ninja
I
Turtles?
try to feed it
Did
with
he say you can
my
count the
hand, right?
rings like they were a
I try
tree?
to hand feed it.
Yeah, a tortoise. Wait, subscribe. You asked me a question. My bad. But yeah, if you count the shell, like there has something to do with the shell. It actually grows with it. It's kind of like made out of the nails of humans. The
yeah, it's
same.
the rings on them. Like the rings around
So
will
the
tell you how.
rings,
Yeah.
how old it is.
Like a
So
tree?
Yeah.
kind
Yo,
of, yeah.
But anyways,
can I just
before we
say
get
that?
too far, I gotta go. But I want to ask Dre a question around that swoosh. Because I saw the whole drop thing, but like I said, I've been super focused on the animation I'm working on and just work and stuff. So I haven't been keeping up. Frankly, probably worse than before. Guys, I know Compound's gonna make a joke like you never keep up, anyways. But what's going on with that swoosh?
You don't keep up like the turtle. Your soul is a turtle, but yeah,
Yeah, that
something
too.
like that. That's what he would say. I would never say that, but that was something he would say. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a never. But no, it's they're having their first drop, and they even said it in the details that if you're up to a certain number, that you will receive it first. So I think that what they're looking to do is release two different shoe boxes, one being like an older shoe box and one being like the future shoe box, and it's gonna be a time allocated where you can open the shoe box and see the contents inside, or you can keep it closed. It kind of for real biting off. Well, I won't say biting, but it's very reminiscent of the monolith drop, to be honest. And I think that's something we're going to continue to see is things be very reminiscent of experience that we've had thus far within the community because of everything that I said earlier about the parallels that are being drawn between the two companies or the two projects. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think, of course, it's going to deal with the physical because there's going to be so many, in my mind, going to be so many people who are looking forward to that. They want to have this Nike swoosh. They want to have this experience from Nike Virtual Studios. So they're going to have to do something to include those people who don't care anything about digital collectibles. But that's part of this drop. Having two shoe boxes, one old, one new, and one is going to contain a strictly digital shoe, and the other one, I believe, will contain a physical shoe, if I'm not mistaken.
So does everybody get the drop, or that's the piece that I'm confused about. Like, is it like a raffle, or like anybody who has a swoosh ID gets this drop?
From what I read, I kind of skimmed over it, to be honest. I think it's up to a certain number get first access. It goes out in waves. So certain people get it first, some people get it later, some people get it after them. But everybody's going to get it just same way that they received the Nike Swoosh access codes.
Oh, that's dope.
And that's another thing the dude said for the alpha. He said if you went to those shows, those in real life events, and used the access codes that was on the paper that they gave out, those people would go first. That's what he said, but I don't know how much truth that has. And that's kind of salty because I raffled mine off to somebody for free. So yeah, just sharing my pain.
I'm pretty sure I was actually on the space when you're like, "Hey, I got an extra code. Hit me up." And you were talking to like this lady, and you were being super nice. So I was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" But I mean, that's cool. I guess community. So here we are now.
Yep. Salty, alone, what is life? It's all good.
Reminds me of the shoe you're having to give off, Tebby.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna be a good thing. I'm excited. Like real talk, I am super excited for whoever ends up getting that. Like especially now, because I knew the whole time that the Angel had the see-through material, but seeing the pictures, like the up close pictures, like earlier this week, and yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about whoever.
Give it to Prince.
What's that?
Give it to Cyber Prince.
I don't
I'm just
think
gonna go ahead and say
he has
thank you
not
for the
subscribed to the
reference.
channel. You got to subscribe to the channel. If he does and gets all of my ladies to subscribe, then he might get it. I mean, his chances are.
Cyber Prince is up right now, though, ain't he? Because my ladies is up right now, aren't they?
But they went back down, so they almost hit clones and then went. They're on the
Bro,
right. down.
it's the same person buying it. It's like something Blur or something. It's like buy it off Blur, one of those.
Cheaper on Blur. Yeah, I know those accounts.
Yeah,
One
that
of those.
account front run me so many times, but I get him back because I went to Blur and I got some cool stuff, so it worked out.
Maybe they buy higher on OpenSea and then sell them cheaper on Blur. Like, you guys don't understand the business model.
I mean, it's a
I
great
just use
business.
the contract. I just use the Ethereum contract, and I put max royalties, and yeah, just doing it for the culture.
Hey, wait, I got a question for you guys who pay attention to DeFi and crypto and all that. Is Bitcoin going to 60,000 now that they broke through the resistance?
Yes.
Not right now.
Maybe.
Macroeconomics,
Not
economy's
not
down
financial
bad.
advice.
Oh,
Economy's down
God.
bad right now. Like there's more layoffs. Like
I
more
think
and
that's
more
when it
layoffs.
go up because when people like him start talking about it's not gonna go up, it's gonna go up.
No,
Why are
it's
you
not gonna
guys
go
worried
up
about
right now.
why are you guys worried about the Bitcoin floor price anyways?
I think there is one more
That's
crash for sure. There's gonna be one more crash. Everybody's gonna be happy and high off this BS. It's gonna probably go up like 5 more
This
percent.
debate right now, right? This is why
It's
you're
gonna go up
completely
25
wrong,
more
and I'm
percent, and everybody's
completely
gonna be
right.
high,
All right.
and then it's gonna fucking crash faster than you can pull your money out.
Look, let me ask you guys something though.
Bitcoin's gonna
Does the
get to
Bitcoin floor
60K.
price matter?
Somebody other
Yes,
anybody
yes, it
think that?
does. Sorry. I just have to get this joke in. I just have the urge. It's gonna get to 69K if slower than Flash over here, Compound's turtle. So, yeah.
Bro, okay, my turtle story, bro.
It's
Yo,
a
when
tortoise.
tortoise, same
Tortoise.
thing, bro. It's a
No,
turtle.
They're not the
It's
same.
it's a turtle, bro. It's just
Look,
on land.
It's
you're
not a
taking
floor turtle,
Bitcoin
okay?
advice from this guy.
It's not a floor turtle, bro.
Anyways, so
It's a
yo,
rare
like
turtle.
half my middle finger is bitten off. I try to feed it with some lettuce, hand fed it, and it literally took off my finger, bro, and like half of my skin and like everything was popping off. Like, I mean, it kind of grew back, but I still got
Can
like a
you
mean
send
ass
us a
scar
picture
from it.
of your finger? I'm
Yeah,
curious.
I can.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was a turtle probably, and that sounds like user error. You can't blame that on the turtle. Like
You
that's
Yeah, just like
just
how these guys
you
can't
can't put your
unhook themselves
you
with
can't put your finger
frozen
inside of
shoulder.
a turtle's mouth, bro. What are you doing? They're sharp. They're strong. But honestly though, does the floor price of the tortoise matter in general? What's up, Hemi?
I think Hemi know about Bitcoin.
Did Hemi come up? What's up, Hemi?
Finally, bro. Listening for like a whole couple hours of this conversation, bro. It's
So fucking psyched.
just been boring here. Where's this photo,
It's
bro? It's
so
about to get
fucking boring.
interesting. Just talking shit. But where's this photo for real? Compound.
Yeah, I want to see the pic of the bitten finger too, if we can.
Compound.
Yeah,
One of
can
you
we?
three, Rose, you're on the tables too. You're on the cards. One of you kicked me off a couple hours ago, waiting patiently to talk to get kicked down.
It was me. It was me. If anybody get the boot off the stage, it's me.
That's
So
fair.
don't even.
Wait,
I,
Hemi was up here and had his hand up and got booted, or you didn't have your hand up or something?
you
He
know
didn't have
how
his
I
hand.
am, bro. I'm always unmute, mute. So the thing would have just disappeared.
Yeah, dude, I'll be honest with you. We had a bunch of requests, lots of hands
Yeah, I
up.
seen it. I seen it. What's his name?
I don't know what was going
Vincent
on.
was funny, bro. The man tried to slide his way in there. He was like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Bro, what the fuck? Oh, Vincent. Where's this photo?
Yo, let's
I'll play the role of the fighter, okay? Floor matters, and we're going to zero, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Bro, if we're going to
And
zero,
Nike
that's
is
winning, bro. I need these shits to go to zero.
at
also
least one.
like Also, like the founders, they're just not in my DMs. They're not sending me mail. They're not sending me mail pigeons. They're not really active with the community. You know what I mean? They're not sending my bags to 100 ETH. Like I was told I'd be rich. Like I have student loans to pay off. Like you guys don't know the struggle. I gotta go and party with the boys. How am I gonna pay for bottle service? Like what the fuck, bro?
Drew, I invited you up, bro. I want to know the story behind the Nakamigos. What's the utility? What do they do?
I wish I could tell you, but this is not a real Nakamigo. This is a LeBron James as a Laker deriv that I had a friend make.
Yo, Dre,
Wait, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, bro.
literally faded every alpha that comes here. Nakamigos was talked about in the first couple bad takes.
Wait, what?
What do they do though? What's the utility?
It wasn't even launched yet at the time. There was like probably 600 followers, and you guys all faded it. I faded it too. It's okay.
I mean,
Well, they got nothing to do with my question. I'm asking utility.
yeah.
Subscribe. What do they
So
do?
I did have three, but in terms of utility, I never saw any except for the price went up. You know,
That's the greatest utility there is.
Are you saying the floor went up?
What do they do, bro? Do they do anything? They do nothing.
Yuga is part of it, apparently.
Yo, it's his birthday, guys. You guys gotta say happy birthday first. So
Drew,
stop
your birthday,
grilling.
it
brother?
is my birthday in 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh, happy
Oh
birthday,
man,
man.
happy birthday, bro.
Yeah,
Happy birthday to you.
Ooh. Who's
Keep it going. 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 Yeah.
Keep it going.
Happy birthday, Drew.
Happy birthday to you. March Madness.
Ribbit.
Hey.
Ribbit.
Where's Anya at with
Ribbit.
the
No,
vocals?
I'm a Easter rabbit.
Oh my gosh, do you guys want to go down that Easter loop, that Easter rabbit hole? About the eggs
What?
and the
No,
sacrificing.
Yeah, I got a multi-millionaire come to my workplace, and he was like, "Yo, my daughter's 22. Like, can I?"
Noni?
And I was like, "Bro, is it a trap, bro?"
FBI, get on the ground!
Bro, that shit was a trap.
Yo,
right
fucking
there.
Chris Hansen would have walked right in there, bro.
This guy, he retired at 22 or something like that. He retired real early. He did well in the stock market, and I'm like, bro, Am I about to get this bag or what?
Subscribe be coming with the wildest stories, bro.
But to answer your question, Dre,
If you guys want to
earlier,
hear a wild story,
Bitcoin
I got a
is
wild
going to
story.
100K by next year when the halving happens. So that's the last thing I will say. And with that, I'm gonna peace out.
No, Seven, you can't
This
leave on
is
that
the
note.
third
I said,
time
Not
you
leave.
said this,
how
bro.
can you,
We're gonna
how can that happen, right? Like if we know to sell the news, and if everybody thinks it's going to happen, how will it happen? It never usually happens when everybody says it's going to happen.
So
Also, when is
it,
the halving event, Tevi?
it is next. It's gonna. It's sometime
July,
next year,
July
like
or June.
mid-year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Also, when are you gonna actually go to sleep? Because this is the third time. It seems like this is an announcement to an announcement to announcement, and you
Let
know
him
how
go.
that
We
goes.
listen.
great enough.
Listen. I'm in this ecosystem because I'm learning to master the announcement of the announcement.
listen,
And
Linda.
you know what? I'm getting really good
Linda,
at this.
listen.
Is that you, Dre? Did you just give me the
That was
crickets?
subscribe, bro.
Linda,
Can you tell
listen.
who it is?
Listen, Linda.
Linda.
Yo,
Who's Linda?
He's shooting a shot.
why?
He's shooting a shot with the human
Who's
Oh,
PFP right now.
Linda?
I know. Like that's the
You guys
problem.
didn't watch that video. You guys are boomers, bro.
Wasn't
You're
I
Subscribe.
plus
way too
Where's
10?
the finger
privileged.
video at, bro? We supposed to see the
Yeah, like
Yeah,
mutilated
where's your
finger. Where's
finger
that?
at?
I mean, last
What a
I
Also,
checked,
when
you're
meme
the only
video,
one who
bro.
gave a lettuce
Linda.
to a turtle with your finger wrapped in it. Like it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like a freaking egg roll. Like you give the lettuce, you keep your
I
fingers
thought I
away.
could eat it.
So I'm just saying.
yo, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at the chat and I just saw a hand, and I'm like, "Where's the finger missing?" And then I realized, oh, this is Pompisha's hand.
Oh my
Word.
god.
Yo, subscribe.
Yo,
This is the hand, bro. We need to see the finger. We need
It's
to
my
see it.
finger. I above that. I took a picture of my finger. You see that small scar right there? It's small, but like
Bro,
that
you were acting like your
that whole
whole half your
circle.
Yeah,
finger
kick
got cut
him.
off, bro.
No, that
wait,
Kick
whole
him.
circle right
I'm
there. When I
fucking.
was younger, all that
hold
was
on.
bitten off.
Tevi, can you show us, like, I'm really trying to learn here, like, subscribe and you are Blue Hair Gang. If you were going to have a one-on-one with him, like he was like, you know, one of your employees, a part of the Blue Hair Gang, how would you start off the conversation at least?
Oh, he about to rug you off.
Yo, no, wait, Vaughn, tell him, ask him how he rugged you the last 2 times. Like, talk to him
Dude,
about
He
that.
pushed me. That's what.
I'm trying, what? Bro, I'm trying to learn something
Trucked
here
me.
from
Shoved
Tevi.
me.
Yo, who's
No,
BFG? I feel like
this
she's an
is
op,
BFG.
like right here, just listening to
What
us.
She
are you
Oh,
messaged
my
she
down?
bad,
messaged in the
y'all.
comments and said I need to go on my
Word.
other account. And I'm
I
like,
know. I
what
believed her that she was somebody real because she said she had another account.
what other account?
She duped me.
I did not just respond to
No,
What
who?
are you trying to
Who's your
say?
other account? What's your other account that you talking about?
Oh, it's,
How'd you find us?
Ah, that's my lady for sure.
That's an OPT right there.
yo, what's that? Who's that guy that capitulated and made fake accounts and shit? I forget his name.
Yeah, we
The
don't.
name just that shall not be spoken.
Oh yeah, Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav. It's Flavor Flav over here.
Oh, see, now you make me regret putting you up here. Now I gotta.
Yeah.
That's what
No, we
happened.
do that.
Wait,
We don't capitulate.
BFG, tell us about yourself real quick.
No, we about to rug us. I already booted her. You gotta do something else, man.
I wanted to learn who she was, but she's
Homie, don't
gone.
play that, cuz.
So she's trying to sell I'm a lady, guys.
I have a question for Von Soul actually. Vaughn, are you okay? How are you doing? You seemed a little upset earlier, and yeah, I just want to know if you're okay. Is everything okay? Are you
Hey,
all
does
right?
the floor matter?
Wait, hold on. Let's get everybody up here. Let's fill up the stage. We're gonna have a rock, paper, scissors tournament. We're gonna determine who the real rock, paper, scissors champion is. BFG, you can come back up. Just don't make no crazy noise on the mic, or Dre's gonna kick you back down.
That's a fact.
Anybody else want to come back up? Fill up the stage real quick. If you're any good at rock,
Ice.
paper, scissors, come
I'm
back
gonna
up.
Where's
use the
Linda?
rose for
Where
like
we
the
dropping,
third time.
boys?
It's not even fair.
All right, never mind. You regret this one already.
I told
It's
you.
not fair. Rose
She
is like
waves as she leaves again. All
Bro,
right.
bro,
You guys know how to play rock, paper, you guys know how to play rock, paper, scissors, right? We got rock. This is rock. We got paper. Paper. And we got scissors as thumbs up. Okay.
Can't do
Rock.
thumbs down instead?
Paper.
Just because it's bad take, you know? Thumbs down?
Yeah, you could do either one, but I mean, just be different, you know? Rock, paper, scissors. Anybody else want to come up and play before we run this tournament? Just come on up now. All right. Round one, we're going to do
Me,
Meryl
pick me.
versus Hemi.
Is there anybody else? me, pick
Meryl
me.
versus Hemi. So I say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and on shoot, you guys put one up, okay? And now again, this is rock, paper, scissors. Okay. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
God
Hemi's
damn it.
gone. All right. Meryl makes it past round one. All right. Next one. We got subscribe versus Ilan. Ilan, you ready?
Ilan might be chilling.
All right. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, damn. Ilan, bye.
Let's
Love you.
fucking go.
Oh, shit. All right. Next, we got the Canadians, Deep versus Von Soul. Oh, shit. They're coming in hot. All right.
Coming
You
in
guys
hot.
ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, no. See you later, Deep. Love you. Oh, man. We got Drew versus Rose. You guys ready? Okay. We got rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, not our Rose.
The battle
Bye,
of the
Rose. Yo, I will say, man, Rose gets roasted every time. I lose every time too, so don't worry. All right, we got Meryl won the first one. Who won the second one? Subscribe?
Yeah.
Okay, Meryl versus subscribe. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn, subscribe's on heat.
On the Merc session.
Okay, we got Von Soul versus Drew. Okay, you guys ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, it's a tie. Let's run it again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn, okay, we got paper fans. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, let's go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I'm about to say, learn from this.
I know, bro. Bye, Drew. I'm dying, bro. When I first did this, I was just booing people off stage. They're like, what? I gotta go. I was like, I can't write this down. I'll lose track. All right, we got subscribers on Soul for the championship.
Yo, subscribe. I'm gonna pick Rock just to let you know.
And then whoever wins this is the overall winner. Then you can play me and Dre just for fun. But we're not. You guys for sure won. We didn't even play the first couple rounds. All right, Von Soul and subscribe. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, man.
Told you
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick it too, bro.
Yo, we are so trash at rock, paper, scissors. Subscribe beats everybody. All right. Now we got subscribers, Dre. Oh shit. He's gonna clean us all off the fucking all right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Woo! Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh no.
Let's go.
Yo. Can we get Jace up here just for honorary?
Is Jace? Oh snap! It's the homie.
Let's get Jace up here. Let's see if subscribe can beat Jace. I want to say hi to him real quick. He's like just waking up. It's 6:30 in the morning there. I know it is.
Playing rock, paper, scissors at 6:30 in the morning.
All right, Jace. If you don't want to play with us, then it just shows that you're not our friend. Oh, okay. Jace.
I was just laughing because you said they were all paper hands. or
No.
whatever it was.
Subscribe has wiped the floor with everybody, bro. Are you
whooped that.
ready? Are you ready to play him? He's already won the tournament, dude. Even if I know he's gonna beat me, I'm trash at this. All right, you guys ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Subscribe, Chinky.
Bro, he has an octopus hair. I gotta cut the tails off. You know what I mean?
Oh god. All right, ready?
They
Subscribe.
cut the tails off.
Let me get a shot at this. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
No.
Nah, dude, you for sure won, bro. I played one game. I got lucky. You are fucking good at this.
How
Jace,
did you
it's
lose
nice.
then?
Jace, nice to see you. Welcome to Bad Take. I'm glad you could come for 43 seconds. We love you. We love everybody in here. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Dre Millie.
Rock this bitch.